Okay.
Sharing.
While you are sharing, I will pull up the items.
The thing with the deal in the app. Still feels live readers. Tonight's live. Post. Oh, post. I've now seen Flash Gordon, so I get that reference. Creepers.
Hello, John C., Christine Salvati, Scott Coldheart. Hello, sir. Line Cook Thor, Ken Zarish, Susan Atai, Angel Martinez, Greg Watkins, Michelle Schulte, Jeremiah Dempsey, Stanley S., Ashley NP, DM Cash, Skin and Bones, Edson Juice, Chad Smith, Know Your Joe, Richard Gladden,
Hi, Richard.
Ron Sheps, Nana Fran 62,
Nana Fran.
Gray House Haunts, hello, Chad Smith, John Royski, Suzette Bradley, Judy Volkman. I've never seen your name before.
Hi, Judy.
Doesn't mean you haven't been on before, it just means that I haven't seen you as one of the first log-ons and said hi. So hi, hello, Judy. We used to have a bear at Gatorland named Judy. Probably not the same person. Ellis Fire, hello, good to see you on again. Angie Rogers, you're here for bear stuff. That's not what you think it means. Rachel Powell, Mr. Scientifical, Harry Foldbaum III, JLR 538LM, and Edson Juice, I said him already, Scott Coiner, Hugo Cordialete, Mr. Mitch. Hello, everybody. Okay, that's it for now. Oh, I just missed Phobophile. Hello, Phobophile. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, we have some bear stuff to finish up before I start sculpting.
Hello, not wife Stacy. Hi.
Yes, yes. And Stan is also here. Stan is here. Yeah. Stacy, you are not wearing a pumpkin shirt, are you?
No.
No. You're in uniform of Stilt Bee shirt, but not in the pumpkin shirt uniform.
Sorry. Nobody said it.
It's so weird that to have all these stools in the shop because they're still here from Monster Camp. I'm like, everywhere I turn, there's a stool in my way.
Lynn 56 cents is happy Halloween, everybody. Hello. SD Costume Guy says this is vlogging awesome.
This is fucking awesome.
Dan Cash says my favorite show.
Hello.
Thor
Why,
says
thank
hi
you.
Stan. Susan Tai also says hi Stan.
Hi, everybody.
Ken says such Stan and Stacy.
So,
Here's the bear. We worked on the bear the other day.
Suzette Bradley says love y'all.
Hooray! We love you too.
Rachel Powell says working on my son's plague mask tonight. Trying to bevel edges is hard. You have a dull knife and a dead Dremel battery. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's rough. I like my Dremels corded. It's not fun unless you can take all the skin off the finger.
Scott Colhart says hi to you too.
hey Scott.
You just came to Monster Camp, yeah?
He did.
I'm sorry to get to meet you at Monster Camp.
Yeah.
We were busy doing
She
the
said
show.
he's here. I'm out. Okay. So.
Robert White says hello.
You guys might.
Says YouTube Wednesday was awesome.
Oh well, very cool. It was different, and I got permission to do a long version because I don't feel like giving up. You know what I mean? And that was like the bare bones amount of information that I could possibly give on that, and feel okay with myself.
Mike Lastro says, hey everyone. Mr. Scientific Bill says, yo, you need to wear. You need to wear. You need. Suzette Bradley says, my first live. Welcome, Suzette. Glad you
Hello,
joined us.
Suzette. Awesome.
Angel Rogers says, my boyfriend's loving the bear. Went to get some paints. I made kind of a Halloween jack-o'-lantern clay figure.
Well, very cool. This is a little. I have my hot glue gun is heating up. Remember, I wanted to hit that fur line again with the hot glue A. And then.
Thor says, awesome video, Dan.
Why, thank you. I'm very happy with how those Dementors turned out. And I think, even while we were doing it, the big takeaway is the system for mounting those lightweight ghosts, because they have such spring and good movement, you know?
Salty Scrunt says, Salty Army up in the house.
Hello, Salty Scrunt.
Robert White says hello. Stan and Stacy.
Hey.
Cowboy says hello, Perps and Peeps. Jennifer Q says hello all. Kevin Kahoski says, those pants!
Oh, yeah. Yeah, check me out.
Michelle
Right
Johnson
here.
says, I love the pan salad. Edson Juice says, Dementors were super cool.
I am known for my subtlety.
Sleeping Link says, hi everyone. Warmonger says, hello. Big Monkey Fez says, hello, hello.
Hello, Dave Monkey Fizz.
Angie Rogers says, loving those pants.
Do you have a child, Big Monkey Fez, that you guys call Little Monkey Fez? Because that would be awesome.
Captain Marga says, Fuzzy Wuzzy Bear. Hey, gang.
Yes, Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. And there are these extra little flappos of Fabricos.
Tutwork Studios says, hello, everyone.
I'm not Sun Moon!
Ron Shep says, Alan dressed himself today.
I did dress myself today. I went to see my wife at work for something. It wasn't today, it was a while ago. And, you know, I was wearing, you know, shop clothes and whatnot. I looked kind of rough. And I went and, you know, I found her and she saw me and I said, hey, honey, I dressed myself today. And I heard this snicker from a bunch of other firemen that were around the corner.
Big Monkey Fez says, actually, I do call him a monkey at times.
Hooray! Dressed myself today.
I have a complimentary fabric to that at home. It's gold and has ghosts on it and it says boo.
Wow.
Ray requested a mask out of it, so she used one.
Fancy.
Harry Colbon III asked, what are you going to do with the bear when it's done?
I'm going to send it to its owner who is watching.
Jeremiah Dempsey asked, what brand cutter are you using?
This is a Roberts. It's actually a carpet cutter, but the blades are cheap, and the way you mount it in there, you get 4 different corners of the blade to use. I really like the, what's the other kind I like that will cut you?
Persona?
I like the Persona blades, but I like this better. It seems like they last a little longer edgewise, and I get 4 corners instead of 2.
Christian Ty Edwards says, thank you for all that you do. Recently found your channel and love your work. An excellent addition to my Halloween tradition.
Well, that's very cool. Awesome.
And to bring you back down to earth, Cobweb says, you look like MC Hammer went Halloween shopping.
That's fine too. Yes, you're not wrong.
Longer.
So I have often been told, all right, and I've been told by some good friends of mine that when I dress up, I tend to dress up a little fancier, you know, and because I'm not afraid of colors and whatnot. And one of my black friends, he's like, you dress like a black man going to church. And I'm like, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Where's my cool hat? Can I have a cool hat now?
Warmonger says, I picked up some Coke Zero to be more like Alan. Plus, it was on sale.
Hooray.
Katie Elliott says, good evening from Durham, UK. This is the first time I've caught a live stream.
That's awesome.
Glad
We're glad to have you.
Ron Chef wants to know what socks is Stan wearing tonight.
Stan, are you even wearing socks tonight?
I am. These are my Bucky,
Come and spin the camera, do a little fat. They're very concerned about what Stan's wearing. This is the Stan runway.
Susie Gardner says,
these are my Bucky's trick or treat socks.
That's my mom.
There you go. Trick or treat.
Stan, say hi to my mom.
Hi, Stacy's mom.
It is her youngest daughter's birthday today.
Hooray.
Suzette Bradley asks, what's the fur made out of?
Nylon, actually. This is faux fur. This is fake fur from Monterey Mills is the company that I get it from, and it's good stuff.
Realms, what will be your nightmare, says hi.
Realms, what's up, buddy? Hope things are going well.
Richard Gladden says, I love the Dementor vid today. Kate
Oh,
Elliott,
thank you.
Our brand new from the UK, says, I'm currently making one of your grave statues.
Awesome. I wish you luck on that.
Christian Ty Edwards says, I'm an actor and performing artist in the DC area. I've never been a scare actor and really, really, really want to.
Oh, I love it. It's one of the many things that I enjoy is acting in a haunted house.
Christopher Lizette says, good evening all.
Hello, Christopher Lazote.
Susan Attai says, I asked on the Creepers page, but I'll ask here, what model Shearbonder glue gun are you using? And what do you think of cordless glue guns? Any good?
This is the adjustable temp glue gun. This is the Sure Bonder. It is the 300 watt. This is the 300 watt. This is the one I use a lot of the time. It has a dial under here. This is a little over $100, I think. Dial here for temperature. I don't necessarily like cordless glue guns because there's only so hot a battery can get. You know, I kind of feel about them the same way that I feel about cordless and battery operated soldering irons. I understand that they're a thing, but okay, so why do I do the hot glue along the seam like that? It's because it's so good at binding that hair together. Because
Mom says it looks like real fur.
It grabs everything. And look at how that seam kind of went away, you know? You just don't see that now, which is nice.
Realm says his haunted house didn't open because it's pouring down rain again.
Well, it's pouring rain here too, bud. Sorry to hear that.
Kenneth Booth says, ahoy, bro. Scaring up a bear today, eh?
I am. I'm covering the bare necessities of mask making right now. I'm going to sculpt in a little bit. We're going to sculpt in a little bit, but I'm waiting for something to happen before I sculpt. I have a fun sculpting surprise.
Christian Ty Edwards says, how about cordless drills and screw guns?
Well, yeah. I'm not a sadist or a Luddite or whatever.
Susan Ty says, cool, thanks. I love the control you get from that model.
Me too. Yeah, it is a lot of it. It's about control. It's about, I can set my temperature, you know. I don't have to have it on one temperature all the time. So I can, and right now I'm making the glue a little more liquid so it really flows in between all those fibers, so I turned it up. If I want to build with it, you can almost 3D print with it when you put it on the low temp because, you know, as you move around, it builds up a raised little ridge.
Robert White is watching us from the ER.
Well, holy moly.
Yeah, hope you're okay.
Yeah, hopefully you're visiting someone else.
No, he says I'm laying in the ER.
Oh, well,
Greg Watkins says it snowed here today.
when I say don't try this at home, I mean it.
Cobweb says, I do love my 20-volt cordless DeWalt drill.
Yeah.
D. Eastman says, new to your channel. Love the Bucket Angel Death video.
Oh, very cool, very cool. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Thank you.
Sleeping Link says, your live streaming videos are saving my sanity. I've been decorating our visitor center for Christmas for over a week and we still have tons more to do.
Well, awesome. What kind of visitor center is it? That sounds really neat that they would put that much time and energy into decorations.
Realm says, I was going through some stuff and I just found my very first test mask. Not very good.
Well, I've got about a 13-year period of my mask making that I feel that way about.
Ross Richard says, hello, fellow creepers, family, Alan, Stan, Socks, Stan, and Stacy.
Hello.
I love that Stan Socks get their own entry.
Yeah. Cobweb says, is the surprise homeless damn it Rob coming to guest host?
No, it is not homeless, damn it, Rob.
Tom Everett says, happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween, Tom.
Moon 20 Plays says, hey, long time no see.
Hello. It's good to see you on.
Anthony Patano says, hey, how are you guys tonight?
I'm doing great. I'm not going to speak for everybody, but I think they're doing fine.
Doing awesome.
Oh, so Katie Elliott, our new UK viewer, she says, Alan, could I please ask, do you or anyone watching know what might be similar to Loctite foam? Apparently, they cannot get Loctite brand specific.
I'm afraid I don't know. No. Do you have any kind of a spray foam in a can? Do you have anything like that? Do you have great stuff?
Gap filler.
Yeah, gap filler foam. It's a foam insulation. You guys are cold enough over there. I'd imagine you would.
Robert White says he's having an AFib problem. Oh no.
Okay, we'll take care of
I
that.
was gonna say, rest up.
I won't do anything exciting. I promise. Sorry for everyone else.
Angie Rogers says that's why I pay someone to do things for me.
Okay, and I'm just going right in that little crack with the glue gun.
Oh, I can try and pronounce this, but it might go poorly. Claudio Cacalas de Souza says, Voce eo Maravilloso says...
Don't read it out loud. It could be cussing.
I don't think so. I think it's something like good work.
Thank you.
Maravilloso and Traumahalos. I think that's good. Marvelous work, yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Man, other languages are so much cooler than English. Like, you just said Travahalos. Like, Like that's like I expect like someone who runs Rivendell to be named that. Like that's a cool name. That's a cool word. Trabajalos.
Big Ink Media Group says hello everyone.
Hello.
My mom says, to absolutely no one's surprise, it's Stacy's favorite week of the year.
Yeah. Mine too.
Sleeping Link says it's a historical park and we do a big Christmas event every year. And since everything is so messed up this year, we really want to make it special for the kids this year.
Do you remember I put a little bit of contact cement on these before I started gluing? And now those get glued down. Push really good for that contact cement to kick in. Same is true over here. There's a little...
Elliott says, yes, lots of gap filler foams, not great stuff though.
Okay, let me do some research into UK-based gap filler foams and see what they'll do.
She says, is there a particular property I need to look out for?
I'll have to find that out. Like, I don't even know what it is per se is the property that makes it so much better. I mean, I know it's, you know, look for one that is very white in color and says like 3 times as dense, you know. Look for the densest one you can get. It may have similar properties because that is what it says on the thing with the stuff.
Thing with the deal in the app.
Yeah.
Kenneth Booth says, my pirate code went to the toilet. Hopefully my Christmas display will fare better.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Philip Przewowski says, are you planning on some airbrushing on the fur?
Not too much on the fur, but I'm about to flock all this face. So once we flock the face, then I'll know how much more filling in I kind of have to do.
Robert White, who is in the ER with AFib, says, please do a lot exciting. No, be calm.
Yeah, you gotta relax, man. Relax.
JLR 538 says, I went to Home Depot, they sold out of the Halloween items.
Yes, I don't know what happened there exactly, but Halloween was gone like October 13th to 15th or so. It just left. So very interesting dynamic.
Line Quick Thor says 105 creepers.
That is a lot of people.
Katie Elliott says thank you so very much. I really do appreciate that. Shankopotamus says yo.
Yo, Shankopotamus.
Jennifer Pugh says I've never seen flocking. I'm so excited.
Well, me too. I've seen it, but I'm also excited.
Marlena K says looks great, Alan.
Thank you. We're gonna put a little bit of gray in with the brown, and then the airbrush is gonna, you know, even me out. But I think that will look nice.
Katie Elliott says almost no Halloween decos in the shop in the UK this year.
Well, it was a very hard year to get them, simply because of, you know,
British transport from China. Like,
I hate blaming everything on the COVID, but it's the fault of the COVID.
Moon 20 Place says great work. Cowboy says most big box stores got 1 or 2 trucks that didn't restock.
Yeah.
Tom Everett says I noticed the same thing at our Home Depot where I live in Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah, it just seems like it stopped early, you know, like they just didn't, they stopped coming.
Thank you, Scott Colhart, for the Roberts Carpet Knife link. Jeremiah Dempsey asked, what length flocking and how long do they make it?
Okay, so I have to get all my flocking from the UK, and right now I'm using a 6mm flock. I have some 10mm flock on order, but it's going to take a while to get here. And 6mm, I think it's just long enough for me to use it and really be happy. Normally flocking is very short. This is a longer flock. Yeah.
Rounds asked, weird question, how would you make a giant rat head puppet?
That's not even that weird, man. You have no idea what I'm used to. A rat head puppet? Does it have to be lightweight, or is it supported some way other than... Let's just make it lightweight. I would buy a plastic rat. You can find those this time of year. Make a quick tape mold of it, and then use that for a pattern for upholstery foam. And I would make it upholstery foam. I would cover it in this kind of fur. I would use silicone caulking to mess up the fur. And there, yeah.
Ken Zarish says, who's been eating my porridge?
Yeah.
Chanowski Devin says, greetings from Adirondack Park, Saranac Lake, New York. Longtime fan. Wife and I are watching the stream.
Awesome. So good to hear. Thank you.
Thank you for the link to the Teespring Speckholder. Jordan Nizel says, did you see my new Boogeyman model? I asked in the last stream, but I didn't stick around for an answer.
I did. I did see it. I love it. Maybe I'll find a way to show it to folks here in a while.
Kenneth Booth says, isn't flocking where you get whipped with a cane?
That's flogging? That's flogging, which is different. Yeah, that's my other YouTube channel that we don't talk about.
Robert White says, Alan, the bear looks like the ones from Disneyland on steroids in a great way.
Yes, everything from Disney should be put on steroids.
Thank you, Scott Collar, for the link for Flock.
And I mean the princesses too. Like, roid them out. Give them some sweet roid. I want to see veins popping.
Greg Watkins asks, please explain the difference between flocking / hair / fur.
Okay, so fur is it's this. It comes in a sheet. It's got a backing on it, and you can sew it together. The hair is long hair. It actually comes on a run, and then you can glue the bits of hair on. It's normally the longest that you can get. The max you get on the fur is about 3.5 inches or so. The hair you can get in a lot of different lengths. I use 6 to 8 inches quite a bit normally. And then the flocking is short hairs. Think of the short hairs on a dog's face. That's the kind of stuff you use flocking for. If you, as a young man, had like He-Man or Masters of the Universe toys, maybe you had a Panther figure, that was flocked. Or you had a Moss Man from Masters of the Universe, he was flocked. So, yeah.
Nitro and CO2 says, it looks like the Showbiz bear, but he went rabbit. Billy Bob's gonna eat you.
Yes.
Oh my God, Showbiz pizza. Katie Ellett says, picnic baskets everywhere are worrying.
I think that Showbiz, they worried. They won like worst pizza, like worst chain pizza, like many years in a row.
Alex Wilson says, looks good. Did you sculpt this?
I did. And I think we sculpted it live.
Jordan Ezel says, who's this for?
I believe this is for Angie, who's watching. If she's on, she'll speak up.
She is. Angie Rogers.
Yeah, and she will say, that's my bear! But she might not have the same inflection.
Big Ink Media Group says, I've seen a hair makeup tutorial where they did flocking to give a real person a beard. I thought it was weird because of the electric, but it worked well. Joe Boss says, Wrestle Evil Bear. Big boy Alan, beat him up. Win the game. Do it.
Hooray! Anyone who encourages me to wrestle a bear is a friend of mine.
Yeah.
Moon 20 Plays says, the fan says hello.
Hello.
Horror Beauty says, don't give the bear a bowl cut. That's just wrong. Bear don't need to look like OB.
The bear is going to get a bowl, not a bowl cut per se, but going to get some bowling is going to happen.
Fred Shea says, good morning, Alan and Wifey. I'm glad I didn't miss much tonight like the other nights. Glad to be here and learning, taking notes at the same time.
My wife is not here yet. She is placing a jack-o'-lantern for our Great Pumpkin project. She will be here later. Right now we have Stacy reading comments, who works in the shop.
Hello.
And we have Stan in the shop also.
Phobophile says, flogging sounds more like the kind of thing I'd put on my channel since I lack the skill to do these kinds of builds.
Hooray!
Celeste Kitty says, Gonzo on roids.
Wasn't Gonzo? No, they never said what Gonzo was, right?
He's a weirdo.
Like, we don't know what he is.
He's a monster.
I'm not going to call Gonzo a monster.
And he calls himself a monster.
That's racist.
No, you know what? I'm thinking of Grover.
He calls
Grover,
himself
yes.
a weirdo.
Grover is like Cookie Monster light.
Yeah.
Like before he bulked up.
Skinny Cookie Monster.
Yeah.
Josh Newman says hi.
Hey, Stan,
Yeah.
do you think you could cut a set of the new tools?
Yeah. We have some more though.
I don't know. We haven't.
We haven't.
Cobwebs just asked, what's Stan working on?
We don't know. It just keeps coming.
They keep showing up. They keep forgetting to change the combination.
Yeah.
Marlena says, bear with a bowl cut equals bear pie. Suzette Bradley says, yep, my grandma used to say, go get a switch from the tree.
Yeah.
Ezekiel says, well, hello, creepers and hopses.
What's up, Ezekiel?
Jordan Ezel says, are you aware of the Murray Bridge Bunyip? It's an animatronic attraction in Europe.
I'm not aware of an animatronic attraction. Boris? Boris, come here, buddy. Buddy, I need that. That's a Yeti hand.
Hey, Boris.
Come here. Come here, buddy. Boris.
Show them what you got you, Daddy.
Oh, no.
This is the hand from our tree Yeti, who was not previously giving the hang loose symbol, but now he is eternally. So we'll have to fix her. Just take it. No, don't take it.
We can
I
fix
take it back.
Yeah.
We can fix that, that's fine.
Realm says, okay, thanks. And what if I want it to be huge, like Lord of the Lords? Because I want some, but I don't have that much money to spend on a prop, and I want one to be original.
Then you take your pattern that you made and you project it onto a wall and you scale it up. Scale it up.
Jason Kerr says, good evening, Alan and Stacy. Suzette Bradley says, hi, Stacy and Stan. Zika says, hey, Stan.
Hey, Stan. Hey.
Hey, Stan.
Yeah,
Keep on your toes.
I've had a lot of caffeine.
Jeremiah Dempsey asks, are you tinting the glue?
Yes. You tint the glue the same color as your flock, basically. And then I'm about to do their jaw, their flockins.
Joe Boss says, I love the Great Pumpkin Project.
Me, a 2.
Celeste Kitty says, I think Gonzo's an alien. Christopher Lozano says, according to the film Muppets for Space, he's an alien. Sleepy Link says, Gonzo is classified as a weirdo.
I will have to put flocking in here for this to work.
He's a weirdo.
Jordan Ezel says, I saw the Great Pumpkins in the Simpsons, but I've never seen it on Peanuts. Ezekiel asked, what was Stan's secret a few lives ago? I think that was YouTube Wednesday.
Oh, it was a secret. Yes.
It is no longer a secret. It's YouTube Wednesday.
Yeah, tell them what the secret is, Stacy. Tell 'em.
The secret is that Alan was approached by Warner Brothers and the Harry Potter intellectual property and Wizarding World website to make today's YouTube Wednesday. But it had to be a secret because of confidentiality agreements and all that jazz. And also it went up on the Wizarding World's Harry Potter fan club direct first. And so it had to go there first for a certain amount of time before you could upload it to YouTube for public consumption. And so that was why we were all hush hush.
We were working on a project.
Secrets.
Secret project.
We did get it finished though, and they look really cool.
Yeah, they were all on this side of the room while you guys were watching, so.
Right. See nothing.
And I promise they'd much rather watch you go to walking
Loads they gone.
Kate Elliott says Gonzo must be related to me then. Suzette Bradley says never seen the Great Pumpkin Project.
The Great Pumpkin Project is a thing that people do where you, in order to keep the spirit of Halloween alive and such, you, hold on, I have to get you guys in a good spot. You light jack-o'-lanterns, you carve a jack-o'-lantern, you light it, and you go place it somewhere for people to discover it.
Horror Beauty says, how did you find that hand?
Boris ran around with it. It was, I have a Yeti in a tree in my yard.
Angie says, the dog's messing things up again.
Yeah.
Cobweb says, I never wondered about Gonzo. I wonder what the hell animal is from the Dr. Tooth band. I think it's Dr. Tooth.
I worry about Gonzo's unhealthy relationship with that chicken. Like, that's what I worry
Chickens in
about.
general. It's not just
Chickens in
vanilla.
general, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he has a chicken problem.
Craig says those pants are legendary, Alan.
Why, thank you.
Michelle Schulte says, oh, look at those muddy paws. Finn Goblin says, give Boris a hand. Ruggedly Handsome says, imagine all the people who end up here after Siri thought they said live flocking instead of, never mind.
Yeah, it's probably for the best.
Suzette Bradley says, I have a projector.
That's awesome.
Michael Astor says, I saw a good tutorial today on making fingers from backer rod. I can hook you up.
Yeah.
Know a guy.
Before you unplug and remove the flocking pin, you should turn off the flocking gun, or it will shock you.
Yes. Robert White says, hello, Shannon. We'll let her know when he gets back.
Yeah, she was here and she was left because, Zoom,
Tom Everett says, even Alan's dogs love Halloween props.
they do.
Many well wishes for Shannon. Moon 20 places. The puppies are getting so big.
They are.
Kate Elliott asked what breed are the pups? They're beautiful.
They are a mix between Great Pyrenees and Springer Spaniel.
Congratulations on the partnership.
Yeah, that went well, came together well.
Sleeping Link says the Dementors turned out really great. Bob says I didn't know what a Dementor was until today. RS18 says hello, gang.
Hello.
Michelle Schulte says yes, love them. I can't wait to get everything and make some of those. Thank you, Alan. Buildmaster asks, how much is your masks?
It depends. My masks vary in cost, basically. They run anywhere from $75 on the cheaper end. I have some masks that are $350. It all depends. This mask is right around the $250 range, depending upon features and such that you want on it. Because most of my things are customizable.
Ken Zarish says that's awesome, Alan, on contacting me.
It is kind of cool.
Fred Sheas is on a project that has a lot of fur or hair that's been sitting in the attic for a long time. What's the best way to clean the fur without destroying the crop?
Just being very careful. Mild dish soap, like a Dawn dish soap, and mild is a good way to go. And it's just being very careful and very thorough. There is no fast track to that, I'm afraid.
Cobweb says past tense, had a Yeti in my tree.
Yeah, I had a Yeti. Well, I probably have a handless Yeti in my tree.
Enigma says hi all. Is that the same flock used in silicone?
Same stuff. This is just much longer. This is much longer.
Scott Colhart, thank you for the link for the Great Pumpkin Project. Mike Murphy says hello, maker of monsters.
Hello, Mike and Murphy.
Ezekiel says, okay, I missed the pants. How about a pirouette?
Give me a second. I'm going to apply this flocking because my glue is drying right now.
Tom Little says he's a one chicken weirdo. Camilla. Kate Elliott says, wow, I had a Great Pyrenees. Jordan
Love
says,
Great
Jack
Pyrenees.
Leonard t-shirts. I used to eat those up when I was younger.
Oh, I still love them.
Anthony Patano asks, what's the biggest sculpt you've ever sculpted?
I made like a full-size cave troll head and torso from Lord of the Rings. So that's probably the biggest. But I've also done, we did a worm recently that was...
So that was pretty big.
Yeah, the basis for it was a barrel, a 55-gallon drum was the sculpting form that we sculpted it on.
Taylor's World says, first time ever watching your vid. This is great.
Yeah, we're flocking this bear muzzle in order to get hair all over it.
Suzette Bradley asked, is this mask wearable?
Yeah, of course.
Well, this one's not because it's phone company.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's just, that's just
It's on a bus, so
on
I
the
can
bus.
change it and stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah, this is wearables.
DM Cash says, I'm 57 years old. I had a heart attack 15 months ago. Worked 30 years as an auto tech. Alan Hopp's monster tutorials and cobwebs that helped me decorate an 800 vendors flea market in North Carolina. Saved my life.
That's awesome.
Steve Dempsey asked, good evening. What kind of glue you're using?
It's PVA glue. This is like alien tacky glue that I have tinted. And I'm just going to get the rest of this face done. And then we will move on.
Enigma asks, can we get a close-up on the block area?
Oh, I think I've moved and done that already for them.
Suzette Bradley asks, what does that block thing do exactly?
It is an electrostatic flocking gun. So it adds a charge to the flock as it is coming out of the gun. And then the pin adds the opposite charge to the mask so that they attract. And it stands up on end.
John Royski says, seeing this bear in process of being finished, my first thought was Alan could make the bear from the great outdoors.
I could, yes. But I won't, unless they change the story up so he eats a bunch of kids or something.
Thank you, Scott Colhart, for your link to the Slippy Slide Creepers. Ryan Demon says, hey all, hope I'm not too late.
No. Wizards and demons arrive precisely on time.
Jordan Ezel says, would this be a viable option for a werewolf?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, I've done this on a werewolf, and I'll be doing this on a werewolf probably right after Halloween on lives. For those of you guys who are new and joining us, the lives don't stop. The videos won't stop. This isn't a Halloween thing that I'm doing. This is my life that I'm doing. So be aware of that.
Susan Bradley says, nice, thanks. Cobweb says, I think that was Bart the bear in Great Outdoors.
I know not the bear's name.
You're speaking my love language. It's food.
Okay, so the way this is going time-wise, I think I'll be able to, because it's so wet out today, the glue isn't drying very fast. And that's what I was worried about, why I was doing kind of smaller sections.
Edwin Padillo says, it's for kids. Don't try this on yourself to look older because you'll have an electrifying experience.
Yeah, this can shock you. So someone mentioned earlier that people put beards on people with it. I've never heard of that.
You gotta hold the pin between your teeth.
And frankly, it scares me a little.
Jordan Ezel says, my idea of a vampire is a man-sized back and human legs.
With what legs?
Human.
Okay, human. Got it. Good.
Cobweb says, same bear in Legends of the Fall. Kenneth Booth asks, will y'all be doing any Christmas animatronics or props?
You know what? I believe I will. I actually was thinking about it, and I have a lot of projects that I could do for haunted houses that do Christmas stuff. So they'll be scarier, but I mean, honestly, my weeping angel, isn't that an angel? You know, I mean, you just change the colors of it.
Michelle Schulte says, please hit the thumbs up, guys. Show some love.
Hooray!
Katie Elliott says, I do wish I lived closer and love to come to one of your courses.
It doesn't matter where you live. We've had people from this last class. We had Wisconsin. We had.
Well, she's in the UK.
Oh yeah. Okay. UK. Yes, that's a little far.
you get a pass.
I was wondering why this wasn't working. It's because I'm out of flocking.
That'll do it.
I have flocked like I've never flocked before.
Ezekiel says that flock takes it to a whole other level. Awesome.
Okay, that's the new sets.
Angie Rogers says, thumbs up creatures for my awesome creepers for my awesome bear mask.
What was that again, Stacy? I'm sorry.
No, don't worry. Angie Rogers says, thumbs up creepers for my awesome bear mask.
Yeah, this is going to be good.
Mike Trzynowski says, can you use that if you have a pacemaker?
I don't know. I really have no
Doesn't say
idea.
you can't use it.
It may. Like you're assuming I read all of the
Oh,
instructions,
that's crazy.
and I can assure you that I did not read all of them.
Cobweb says, pow, smack that like. Shadow Jim 81 says, I'm from Wisconsin.
Yes.
Warmonger asks, will this bear be stealing picnic baskets?
I don't know what this bear is doing, and sometimes I don't ask. You know, once they buy a product from me, they have the right to do with it as they wish.
Ezekiel says, smart friend flocking. Jordan says, so posed vampires and werewolves are actually primates that share ancestors with bats and canines.
Interesting. You write your own mythology and stuff.
Yeah. Realms asked, question on my Krampus mask. I put the horns on like you did for that one in UK with the nerves, and then you slid the horns over it that they're not holding. How can I reattach them?
Well, once you slide your horns over it, then I would glue them onto the nubs, you know, glue them on.
Tom Everett says, I think one of Alan's biggest projects is teaching us all how to go out and make stuff.
Go make stuff.
Sleeping Link says, I'm from Wisconsin as well. Richard Gladden says, this is so flocking unbearable. Ken Mahosky says, just ordered a coordinator blank. Super excited to paint it up. Shadow Jim 81 says, I'm a YouTuber too.
Awesome.
Katie Elliott says, I'd have to come for a fortnight, do 3 days of course, and the rest is a monster-making volunteer / teenager.
Come on, you're gonna work in the shop. Put you to work.
Get you an apron and everything. Christine Salvati says, sorry if you already answered this, but what flocker are you using? I need to get one. Also, can you get the flock to lay in a particular direction?
You can. That's why I keep laying it down in different ways. This is the WWS World War Scenics Pro Grass Applicator. World War Scenics Pro Grass Applicator.
JLR says, I watched your video today. I'll be making it for next year.
That's awesome.
Realm says I did, and they all fell off, and I used a ton of contact cement.
Did you watch my video on letting the contact cement dry? You have to let the contact cement dry. What you just told me tells me you did not use the contact cement correctly, because that's just not what contact cement does.
Katie Elliott says, genuinely, I'd love to.
All right, I'm gonna get my air compressor out and blow off the extra hers.
Oh, you talked about cobwebs. Jordan says, in reality, dragons are raptors that spit flammable venom, so they aren't the hypnosis. Realm says, I love you to contact cement before nothing ever fell off. Oh boy, that's word soup here. If I put them on when it's like chilly outside, does that have anything to do with it?
I mean, the cold, not so much, but you didn't. The contact cement was not used correctly. I hate to say that to you. Hate to call you out, but that doesn't happen that way.
Shadow Jim 81 says, what are you gonna make next? I love all your videos.
We're about to sculpt. We're gonna do some sculpting.
Cobweb says, dragons are elemental creatures with magical abilities. Susan Nakai says, I just see the channel. Hello to the wife.
You did. She made it in.
Ezekiel says, my kid's going nuts for your Dementor vids. I'm guessing they'll be asking for supplies after school today. Ops project with the kids. You guys rule.
Hooray! I love that. I love that.
Ross Richard says, Alan, don't forget to close your can of contacts today.
I'm about to. Thank you.
Did you, show them your paint?
Not yet.
I haven't. Hey, Stan.
Hey, Stan, hashtag.
While I'm cleaning up from one project to another, why don't you talk about mask paint that is ready to go?
Joanne Crowley says, hello there, late again, just got back from Spirit. Boy, they have a lot of inventory left.
Yeah, they do.
Well, yeah, but they're not going to be hit really hard until like Friday,
Yeah.
so don't expect any sales.
Cobweb asks, is tonight a sculpting bingo?
Yes, sculpting bingo is about to start. Sculpting bingo will start closer to 8 o'clock. I'm going to turn that camera stand and you can take it.
Kenneth Booth says, I would love for you to create a crystal dragon for Christmas surprise.
That's a good idea.
Hashtag, hey, Stan.
Hey, Stan.
Hashtag,
Warlocker
hey,
says,
Stan.
woohoo, sculpting.
It's coming.
Can I? Thank you.
Cobweb says, yes, that's great.
So we finally got our labels. I'm really, really happy to tell everybody that we've got our labels. We have our containers, and this is our very first bottle of paint. So we're moving forward. We're gonna. This is the Osteo White, and this is what they're gonna look like. So this is our large bottle. It's gonna come in 2 colors. It's gonna come in pitch black and Osteo White. This is our medium-sized bottle, and I'm pretty sure I remember at some point what colors we'll have it in. And so what you're seeing now is this is Halloween magenta. So that's what that looks like. And then we have our 2-ounce bottles that our packs are going to be made out of. And this is really, this is October orange. So this is a 2-ounce bottle. This is where all the packs will come in, and we will be selling correctly this in every color.
Yes, every
So you can buy these individually. We're also going to have the packs. We are super excited. Everything's finally kind of running together. This is a really awesome time. We've been talking about this for months, and we're almost there. So keep an eye out for a few more details. It'll have the price, and they're going to be on the website. And we'll post everything about the packs you can buy, so that you can, if you want to do a witch, then you can. You want to paint a witch and you want to get a blank from here, you can buy the witch pack. You want to do a skull. We have the undead. We have the werewolf.
So we're going to team up paints and mask blanks.
Exactly. So there's a lot of really cool stuff coming, and it's going to be coming before Christmas. And I wish we could sell them today, but like I said, it's right around the corner. And thank you guys for being patient, and it's super exciting. So thanks a lot.
Talk about, Jordan says, dragons or dinosaurs, nothing magical about them. It's a WWE dog brawl.
It is.
Lisa Arndt says, pizza party night with Sculpties on the big screen.
Hooray!
Mike Murphy says, I better look good in some leather.
Different kind of thing.
Yeah, different, yeah, so.
Michelle Schulte says, can't wait to order some paint. Katie Elliott says dragons are chickens with teeth. Shadow Jim says hi, Stan.
Hi, Jim.
DM Cash says early vote, Mummer's dog. Riot Demon says I've never seen Sculpting Bingo.
It's about to happen. You're about to see a very special episode of Sculpting Bingo. Not just because we're late.
Yeah,
We
sure.
had a bear to finish.
Realm says yay. Cowboy says dragon. Dinosaurs uncovered treasure and speak languages. Jennifer Few votes Neanderthal. JLR says hi, Stan. Shadow Jim
Hello.
says nice shirt, Stan.
Thank you.
Cowboys asked who named the colors.
Alan named the color.
I named, and my wife helped me on a couple. So if there are nice romantical names, my wife did those.
There you go.
If they're like,
Like
this is-
Halloween magenta.
this is brown, bears are brown, bear brown.
Ezekiel
Yeah.
says Stan.
Sasquatch
Squatch
brown.
socks, buddy.
That's right, Ezekiel was here with the socks. All right, last sock show for the night.
Yeah.
So these are my trick or treat. Where's it at?
Oh my gosh.
These are my trick or treat Bucky's socks. So you got your little Frankenstein, and they say trick or treat tonight.
Oh, I also owed Ezekiel a shot of my pants, didn't I?
Yeah.
You do, you do.
Or reduces I'm so happy for Alan. His team is great news. Thanks, Stan.
You bet. Looking
Blackcraft
forward.
27 says, hey guys, sorry I'm late. What I miss?
So much stuff.
Fancy Halloween pants, kids.
Thank you, Scott Kohler, for the link to the flocking gun. Jordan E. says fire breathing roosters. Steph G says so grateful for the flocking demo.
When in doubt, fire breathing roosters.
Josh Newman says I'm making headstones right now and watching you guys.
Awesome, I love that.
Katie Elliott says, isn't there worms too? They have less legs than dragons, or are they just a Celtic dragon?
Okay, well, Jordan makes up his own universe, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's highly encouraged every now and then. When that happens, it gives us something new.
Ezekiel
So-
says, can we do international postage on the paints? Some paints I can't buy from this thing. No.
I'm not going to bring it up, so I bet you can. These are not like solvent-based paints, they're water-based paints. So it shouldn't be an issue.
Joanne says, thank you, Stan. Kenneth Marie says, Stan and the sock crew. Michelle Tulsa says, so excited for all of you. Congrats. Steph G asks, is this mask waterproof? Or weatherproof?
I mean, the glue is waterproof once it's on, so to a degree that any mask is waterproof. Like it's not meant for underwater use,
Weatherproof.
put it that way. Yeah, I mean, weather, yeah.
DJ Dynamite asks, what do you use for flocking hair?
You buy flocking, unless you want to cut it yourself.
Oh, yes.
Okay, everybody.
There it is.
I have to close this door. This door's open.
Cat Swift says, paint set sounds like a great thing to tell my kids about for Christmas gifts for me.
For you. Yeah, like a blank and the colors you need for that blank, I think would be just a nice combo set.
Angie Rogers says, I know where to buy my paint after I use my cheap paint. I got it Dollar General. Just got the basic set, only 8 colors. You can mix to get all kinds of color schemes. Are you looking for these?
I'm about to grab those. All right, so tonight, this is the week of Halloween. And what a weird year this is. You hand me those? Yes, it's about to get weirder.
Warmonger wants to know what the paint prices will be.
We'll get that'll all be on our website eventually. Right now, let's talk about this. It's time for Sculpting Bingo. Sculpting Bingo is where you guys pick some sculptures for us to do. And tonight I have a guest sculptor who has never sculpted before. It's my wife. Wife! Come over here. I'm going to give you this side. I'm going to give you this side.
Get that side.
And we're going to figure out what wife is going to sculpt. And then we'll figure out what Now, my wife doesn't sculpt. She's not a sculptor. She is a fine artist in many ways. But, we don't know what she's going to sculpt yet. And you'll have to use your phone for reference there, wife.
Or how I've already scored.
Yeah.
Have all these tools over there.
The upside is that we don't, if you could gather those up for me, so I'm going to move them over to here. All right, so we have, and I am going to make a couple for the wife, which are different. Simply because You know what's cool is that Clawful is in here, and I got him done. So I don't have to do him anymore. He's finished. I got him finished at Monster Camp.
Lisa Art said it'd be a great holiday party idea to do a home Krampus decorating party. Any thoughts to sell the prepaid horns too?
That is quite possible, yes.
Jordan Bell asked, have you ever seen Halloween Town?
I don't think I have, no.
Fred Shea asked, Alan, what's your website name so I can look it up, please? Or do you have a company that you sell your products to so I can order materials?
It is stiltbestudios@gmail.com. No, it is stiltbestudios.com.
Cobweb says, yes, I want all the paints, all of them. I have a zombie snail to restore.
Yay, zombie snail.
Katie Elliott says, MC Hammer Horror Pants.
Yes.
Joanne Crowley says, I thought I saw glitter. I love the stock stand. Angie Rogers says, dang, your hair looks so good.
It does look good. And we're gonna, there'll be some airbrushing, it'll blend in, and I mean, yes.
Shadow Jim says, cool pants. Ken Zarish says, Alan's pants remind me of MC Hammer and Evertime pants are cool though.
Yeah.
Michael Astor says, I have to go pick up my dog. We're back after a while. Tom Everett says, Alan is the king of Halloween. Crystal Roselle says, bingo. Cobweb says, Beastman costumes. Totally Unboxed asks, on the bear mask, what would you use to make the teeth look wet?
Well, I'm going to use Liquitex Clear Gloss Varnish and 5-minute epoxy.
Enigma says, yay. Greg Martin's awesome. Chad Smith, awesome. Crystal Roselle, awesome. Shannon. Mine goes forward. Shannon, yes. C. Dempsey, woohoo. Ezekiel, oh, hell yes. Big God was awesome, Shannon Hobbs. Jennifer Q says, yay. Blanket Thor says, hi, Shannon. Jordan Diesel says, Shannon is the queen. Or Beauty says, yes. Give Shannon that thumbs up, guys. Ian Cash says, go wife. Joanne Crowley, hooray, Shannon. Michelle Schultz, awesome. Yeah, Shannon.
All right, so the first thing that we have to do is we have to get what wife is sculpting. And the bingo part of it is that I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 tabs here. So, and we're just going to have, give me someone who is watching who can pick this.
Christine Salvati.
Christine Salvati, have you got, can you monitor and in the next 4 or 5 minutes, once people start voting, can you pick what my wife is going to sculpt?
Photofile says, this will be a great education for those of us who have likewise never sculpted. There is a lot of yay wife, go wife, awesome wife.
I'm
You
sure
got
that
this,
there
Shannon.
is.
Warmonger says, I manifested Shannon doing a sculpt. The food artist becomes the mask wife.
Did Christine Salvati say yes?
I'm checking. Not yet, but yes.
Okay, then let's hit
She
somebody
says,
else.
got it.
She says what?
She says, got it.
Okay, then all right. Here's what you can choose for wife to sculpt. No kittens. You know what? Yes, a cat is an option. A cat is the first option.
Ezekiel says, no masters of the universe.
It is cat, ghost, zombie, troll, Neanderthal, gargoyle. Cat, ghost, zombie, troll, Neanderthal, gargoyle.
Greg Watkins asks, what kind of mask would Shannon like to sculpt?
Do we concern ourselves with that?
No.
We normally don't. We normally don't. Cat, ghost, zombie, troll, Neanderthal, or gargoyle. Cat, ghost, zombie, troll, Neanderthal, or gargoyle. Christine Salvati is watching your votes. You guys are going to vote. Right now it is 8:05, and at 8:09, at 8:08, we are going to tell the wife what she is going to sculpt, and you can probably start putting down a base of clay right now. And your base of clay is as simple as making large grape-sized pieces of clay and putting it all over. You have seen this a time or two.
See, Dempsey says, Shannon, you give me hope for my bugbear. Lisa Arnold says, how fun, no kitty or doggo masks? Jeremiah Dempsey says, pork shoulder mask. Shadow Jim 81 says, zombie mask. Warmonger says, Shannon better be doing the Jonesy mask. Katie Elliott says, can't wait to see you guys sculpt. Cap Swift says, Shannon has to do something feline. Susan Bradley says, parrot.
Well, put your votes in, because they're being tallied. Are people voting?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Great.
I'm
Again?
taking this time while they're
Yeah.
to catch up on everything else.
cat, ghost, Neanderthal, gargoyle, zombie, ghost.
Celeste Goody says, you're kidding me. Christine Salvati says, don't hate me, Shannon. Ron Shep says, finally a Shannon sculpt. Mike Hardy says,
so
this is
excited
her
about
first
this.
sculpt. That's awesome.
This is her first sculpt, yes.
Paul Bennett is late. He says hello.
Hello, Paul. Hello, Paul.
Jason Agostini says, hey, Alan, is it possible to do a rub out with spray paint?
Don't use spray paint on a latex mask. The accelerant in the spray paint, the propellant, will hurt the latex over time. You won't see any issues right away, but about 6 months to a year down the road, that mask will be falling apart. So please don't use spray paint on a latex mask.
Angie Rogers says, bet on doggies fight on the floor. Poor Beauty says, Shannon, how was the placing of the javelin?
It was desperate. The two places that I had scouted out are underwater,
Oh,
so I had to improvise, and I was trying to do it fast because I knew I needed to get back here, but it will work. It was not at all what I planned, but it will work.
It's a pumpkin of desperation.
Yeah, I mean, everywhere I wanted to go, there's two places of it, I know I can go here, because I'd already scouted them out, and they're underwater.
Edson Juice says, Shannon might want to put on an apron and take off her rings.
I have a silicone ring on it,
Yeah,
and
silicone wedding ring.
I love jewelry, but not here. I have a silicone wedding ring on. I'm good. So I should put flowers.
Oh my gosh, all the votes.
We have 1 minute left. Get your vote in. Get your vote in for a ghost, a gargoyle, Neanderthal, troll, ghost, or zombie.
Lisa Art says, gargoyle for the costume animal was in with a hot suspense.
I was in sort of a gargoyle costume, yeah.
Edwin Video suggests a sprite or a fairy tale sculpt.
You can only pick from my list.
Everybody's giving me such cute little ideas.
Warmonger says, I manifested a Jonesy mask. Cool. Cobwebs asks, how do you sculpt a ghost?
Ask Jordan.
Yeah, you just do.
Jordan is voting for ghost.
The great thing is that no one can say you're doing it wrong.
Tom
You know?
Edward says, water-based clay? I'm assuming that's a question.
Yeah, this is wet clay. This is water-based clay. This is wet clay that has a little bit of glycerin in it to keep it from drying out. It has been so wet here the past couple days. I don't think that's going to be an issue.
Oh, Chad Smith says, man, it's going to be a damn cat, isn't it?
Now it is 8:08. It is 8:08.
At that 808 bump. Ezekiel says, topper beverage up now.
I'm getting a kick out of the very. I'm getting a distinct coddling, very sweet mode here. That is very sweet.
Big Goggle says, now that everyone that voted give a thumbs up and like the video.
So now I need to know what she will be sculpting.
Jason Hurd says, thanks for the information, Stan. Look forward to Minds of Paint.
Ghost cat.
Know Your Joe has already thumbed up and shared it. Oh, thanks, man.
Hooray!
All right. Chad Smith says, Shannon, what wine would you pair with Sculpted?
Big bold red.
Yeah.
Big bold red.
What wine would you pair with tolerating my company?
Vodka.
Yeah. That's her favorite wine.
There you go. Vodka's not a wine.
It's potato wine.
I'm
Shut up.
open. Yeah, thanks.
Ryan Demon asks, how much does that laundry clay weigh?
25 pounds. Each bag weighs 25 pounds.
File says, I'd go with the tawny porch myself.
Stacy, did we get an answer on what she's sculpting?
Not yet.
I need to know.
Chad Smith says, Alan, what milkshake would you pair with Sculpted?
I would always pair a chocolate milkshake with whatever it is.
All right, Christine. Lay it on me.
It's time. I need to know what the wife is sculpting.
She says cat and ghost are pretty consistently matched, so whether she can enter too early. Jordan Ezel says, could you bench press those clays?
25 pounds? I would hope so.
Could you?
Okay, she's cheaping out on me. She says, I think Shannon should pick. It's too close between cat and ghost.
Wife, do you want to do a cat or a ghost?
Ghost.
Wife is doing a ghost.
Ghost.
Ah.
It's on. Katie Elliott says, you guys have been so welcoming. Thank you. I should really go to bed as it's 1 a.m., but it's too interesting.
Okay, so speaking of interesting, I'm not gonna. Hey, Stan, can you come here for a moment?
Yeah.
Give me back 5 of those. 4. You could pick 4.
Sons of Wayne asks, what's your favorite Halloween/scary movie?
I love a lot of them. Like right now, Trick or Treat is getting a lot of my love. Tales of Halloween was actually really fun. Lady in White is another good, very Halloween movie. Yeah. A little hole right there.
Edwin Badillo says, Ghost is hard to do because you don't want it to look like a ghost from the movie Scream. It'll look more like a ghoul, perhaps.
Okay, so we got 4 here. 2 are Masters of the Universe. I'm pretty sure that Stan blind picked.
Totally.
So I have Oni, an Oni, which is a Japanese demon, a goblin. These are for me to sculpt. A goblin, which I actually really want to do. A Triclops, which is another Masters of the Universe villain. And then Hordak is another Masters of the Universe villain who will be a nice, good, generic sculpt and will also work as a gargoyle, by the way. Oni, Goblin, Triclops, and Hordak. That is what my options are for sculpting this evening. You guys are going to vote. And who is going to do the picking? Warmonger, you are picking what I am sculpting.
He's terribly disappointed that there was no cat, so this is his consolation prize.
Is it at 8:12? So at 8:15, I need to know what I'm sculpting. Oni, Goblin, Triclops, and Hordak.
Mike Victor says, you got this, Shannon? Jordan Easel says, Celeste Kitty says, ghost cat. Michelle Schulte says, yeah, ghost. Jen Smith says, go crazy for Alan.
And, you know, a lot of ghost is what happens in the finishing, you know. So this sculpt could be anywhere, you know. She has a ton of options.
Surviving now?
Use your phone to pull up any references that you might want.
Fred Shea asks if we can post the website in the comments. Just did.
Thank you. I don't know what I'm sculpting, and that is so interesting. And that's what's fun about Wednesdays. Wednesdays we do the sculpting bingo most of the time. Sometimes I do a paint-a-palooza, but most of the time we do sculpting bingo where you guys pick what I'm sculpting. It's all stuff that I want to sculpt. All of these. Oni, Goblin, Triclops, Hordak. I would love to sculpt all of them in all honesty.
Thank you, Ezekiel. Just tipped us $7.99.
Wow. Well, thank you very much.
Chad Smith says it'd be hilarious if Shannon sculpted Patrick Swayze. Jordan Easel asks, will they get to see Cyrus this stream?
I don't know. We'll have to see.
Warmonger is on the job. Ezekiel says cold beverage for the wife.
Once again, it is Oni, Goblin, Triclops, and Hordak.
Celeste faces Stan's flesh. I don't know if it was briefly on screen.
Yeah.
Not sculpting.
I'm not
Stan's
sculpting
flesh.
Stan's butt either. Have a little scraper tool here. Wife, I'm very excited to have you sculpting. It is 8:15. There should be enough votes in where you guys can tell me what I'm working on.
Sons of Wayne says, here come the cops. I think that's the laser cutter.
Yeah, you're hearing the laser cutter pop up.
Celeste Katie said, sorry Stan, he's distracted over here.
Happens.
Ezekiel says, them pants need to dance, Alan.
You have some awesome pants on. Dress myself today. Okay, I'm evening out my base for my sculpture.
Or Beauty says, thought it was just me. Glad someone else heard something. All right, Goblin for the win. Thank you, Warmonger.
A goblin? Really? That's so
Really?
awesome.
In almost a landslide. There was a lot of votes for
Really?
Goblin.
Did I interrupt the voting by saying I wanted to sculpt a goblin?
No, Jordan,
Great.
straight out the gate, it was Goblin. Jordan Easel says, we've already seen it, Oni.
I don't think you have. You've not seen an Oni.
All right, guys, voting has closed. It's officially Goblin.
You may have seen an Oni, but it wasn't from me. Maybe that other guy that you watched sculpt. Not that I'm bitter.
Katie Elliott says, Alan, is there something inside that sculpt under your base, or is that just a huge mound of clay?
There's a head form. The head form that we sell on our website is under there. So it's a head form that kind of helps give us a roadmap of where the eyes and stuff are and such, so that we know it's going to fit a human face when we're done. And one of the things I wanted to do with this goblin was keep it nice and tight. So I'm going to pull up some of this clay with my
Celeste Kitty
spray.
says, I've not seen an Omi, I've seen a goblin. Or Beauty says, not enough goblins, bugs, and Japanese monsters.
There isn't.
Robert White says, it doesn't matter, Shannon is the winner.
She is. Well, no, this isn't a contest. Like, we never do this as a contest style setup.
Oh God, no,
It's just fun. It's just fun to sculpt kind of live. And our goal is to have the gist of what we're going to do down by 10 p.m. Wife is in the gathering up reference phase right now.
Robert White, no, sorry. Sons of Wayne says, I want a shirt that says I dress myself.
Dressed myself.
Joanne Crowley says, Shannon, I can't go to a monster camp, so you'll be my inspiration.
Why can't you go?
1980 says, so Alan is sculpting a boglin.
I love the Boglins. Those were the best toys. They were so squishy. That was probably my introduction to silicone.
Tom Edwards says, goblin, a goblin. Did I mention it would be nice to see you sculpt a goblin?
I am sculpting a goblin. We did it.
Horror Beauty says, I thought you have an Oni mask on your site, Alan.
I don't think I do. No.
What an Asian demon.
We have an Asian demon. Yes, but not an
It's
Oni.
not explicitly a demon.
Yeah, that's a random Asian demon.
Jordan Ezel asks, what's more intelligent, a troll or an ogre?
I would probably say an ogre is more intelligent than a troll. Since trolls are kind of plant-based life forms in many capacities. I would
Crazy. Sorry, go ahead.
According to the Lord of the Rings lore, the orcs are corruptions of elves and trolls are corruptions of treants.
Crazy for Fishing asks, how's it going tonight? I've been binge watching your videos all day.
Awesome. I appreciate that. It's going very well. Tonight we are sculpting. My wife is going to be sculpting a ghost, and I am sculpting a goblin. First thing I'm doing is I'm laying down some clay here so that I can have just a good solid base. And the more time you spend evening out your base, the better, really.
Hey, tools for me.
Uh,
Anything here?
Anything here, anything there, you can open up those and get anything you want. Yes.
I keep thinking I've got them all and then I find more.
Look at that.
Stan gave you some tools.
Robert White wanted to assure you that he knows it's not a competition, it's just teasing.
Yes. Yeah, I don't want anybody to ever be intimidated to come and sculpt with me. Yeah,
Ezekiel asks, when is it Stan's turn to sculpt? I got my wish for Shannon to sculpt.
maybe next week. We'll see.
Six String Slay
We're
asks,
working it out.
hi Alan, how much clay do you typically need for a half mask and a full head mask with a neck?
I would say a 25-pound block is fine for a half mask, almost any size you go. And then for a full mask, I would just go to 50 pounds, which is one box of clay.
Edwin Medeo says, D&D style goblins are the best looking, even the ones from Skyrim.
I don't even know if I know what Skyrim goblins look like.
Thank you, Scott Colhart, for the head form link. The Weird Kid Show says, hello.
What's up, weird kid? I was talking to him earlier today.
Lottie FX Makeup says, hey all, what's going on?
Hello.
Greg Watkins asks, Alan, what are your thoughts on the werewolf character in AWIL?
American Werewolf in London.
Oh,
yeah.
it's not my favorite werewolf. It looks really good. It's a nice dire wolf or something like that. But I like werewolves that are bipedal. I like werewolves that walk on two legs. That means the same thing. I prefer that style of werewolf. So, to me, it was not as good as it could have been. Masterfully done, just not my flavor of werewolf.
1980 says, Peter Parker has entered the chat.
Okay.
Warmonger says, sometimes we get trolls on here and they are stupid.
Yes.
Chanowski Devin says, beautiful wife just told me I need to attend a monster camp. We'll be contacting you for lower info soon.
Come on. Come
Thank you,
see
Scott
us.
Kohler, for the link for the Still Be Studios merch from Teespring. Cat Smoke says, sorry, Alan, my OCD is killing me. Please fill in the little hole on the side. Thanks.
What? It's just a shadow. It's a shadow, not really a hole. There you go.
Ian 4G, I'm putting you in timeout. Behave.
Would it bother you if I did this? Too fat to leave frame.
Jennifer Q says, Sharon has a festive t-shirt too. Nice.
She does. My wife is very festive.
Christine Salvati says, cat, it bothered me too. Robert White says, it's date Alan after Krampus.
And my goal here on this goblin is I want to get a nice tight mask, and I want to be able to use it for Christmas elves. I want to be able to use it for all kinds of stuff. So this goblin will be a mix of goblin styles. Certainly the WoW goblins will be involved.
Weird Kid Show says, I love the Undead Nords. I just started playing Skyrim. It's awesome.
I have never played it. But again, I don't consume a lot of media.
Jason Agostini says, is there another type of play I can use? I'm having a heck of a time finding web play. The closest I can find is 2 hours away.
2 hours away is great, because you don't want to have to ship anything. 2 hours away is great. Just drive the 2 hours, get your clay, and then drive home. It'll be awesome. You'll love it. While you're there, eat at a new restaurant that they only have in that area.
Lottie FX says, who's Bingo and why are we sculpting him?
So Bingo was his name-o. I am sculpting, well, we voted earlier, and that's kind of the bingo, is that I don't know, and I don't play bingo, so maybe that's not how that game works either. But I am sculpting a goblin because you guys picked it. I gave you guys some choices, and then you guys picked which one I sculpt.
Rachel Powell asks, is it normal for a brand new heat gun to smoke?
Yes, because when they put it together, there's some oils and stuff that they put on there, and it's going to smoke for a little while. And if you just turn it on, let it run for 2 or 3 minutes, then that smoking should go away. It is perfectly normal for it to smoke the first couple times you use it.
Cat Swift says it was bigger. You got part of it a while back.
Okay.
Tom Everett said, I would love to see a sculptable YouTube troll. C. Dempsey says, stop it, you're killing the OCD. Six Freaks Leia says, how do you plan to add the goblin's ears?
By sculpting them. Yeah, I mean, it's I'm going to put clay on there, and I'm going to make them the shape that I want.
Trypophobia is the fear of holes.
It is.
Life X Makeup says, so sad we're still stereotyping OCD in 2020. Past 12 midnight says, making stuff, it's a way of life. Enigma says, the less media and art you consume, the more original art comes out.
I don't know if that's true. I'm not going to say that that's true. I'm so busy in my shop, you know. I just don't have a lot of time to watch a lot of TV or play a lot of video games.
C. Dempsey said, thank you for fixing whatever it was.
No problem. You guys want to see where I'm at right now? I'm here. I have my cheekbones kind of laid out. And I'm putting on the big features of the face. Like I'm putting in a little bit more of a chin. These are big features.
Edwin Badillo says, Skyrim has close to every monster known to man. You'd love it.
I'm sure I would. I'm sure I would. And a lot of the design that I've seen, you know, from the game is wonderful. You know, I'm more familiar with the WoW creatures. I did play that for a little while. And then I've seen some of the creatures from Dark Souls. I love that design. I do like video games for, you know, because they have to design a whole world. And they just do some good work.
File says, Skyrim is great. The problem is, before you realize what's happened, the whole year is gone. That is true. It's like that with Warcraft. Amy Watkins says, hello all.
Hello, Amy Watkins.
Bloody FX Makeup says, love the bear in the background. Wow.
Amy, thank you for the dog treats.
Yes, our doggos got some treats from Amy. That was very kind of you. They love them.
Pat Swift says, Shannon is the most serious, intense face on it. Give the woman an alcoholic beverage.
She is looking at her references now. A lot of times people come into this pretty cold, and she's figuring out what direction she wants to go. You have this blank piece of canvas in front of you, and you can put anything you want on it. And sadly, Ghost, while it's really nice, it's not a direction. Like, it doesn't tell you where to go, you know. Or she's watching kitten videos, and the serious face is all a sham.
Sons of Wayne asks, can you reuse that clay for another mask, or is it junk when you're done?
I could reuse the clay.
Enigma says, Edwin Dead Space is really good for too for design and is Sculpt inspired by it. Annie Rogers says, the Goblins of the Legend movie. I love that.
Yeah, those were good.
1980 says, will this be a different sculpt from the Frost mask?
Yes, very different.
JLR says, in Skyrim I become a werewolf. I never get a cure. Mike Murphy asks, is Shannon done yet? Ezekiel says, never played a video game. I get unbelievable vertigo even watching it.
Wow, that's awesome.
Oh, Ezekiel Tony too. He has to take Dramamine to play video games.
Really?
Or he's talking to Ezekiel. She said, stop sending her cat videos. Past 12 midnight says, one doesn't simply play Skyrim, you experience it. Amy Watkins says, love those pups. You're welcome.
They are good pups.
They are good pups. Six String Slaya says, do you ever have any problems with the clay getting mold on it? If so, how do you avoid it?
If you see mold pop up, you spray it down with vinegar. Vinegar kills mold and mildew. So that's a good way to be.
DJ Moore says, ghost and goblin making, a great way to lead up to Halloween.
Yes, it is. Ghosts and goblins. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Why?
That is kind of awesome.
What I have thought about doing at some point in time is having like 3 sculptors, and then it's 20 minutes,
Yeah, and then you rotate.
and then you rotate, and then you go to the other one, you know? Yeah, I thought about doing that at some point.
Lonnie FX asks, Alan, have you sculpted / run any silicone masks?
Yes, I have. One of the first videos on my channel that's still left up there is a silicone werewolf mask that I made way back.
In the before time.
Yeah.
Ezekiel says, I also prefer to play an instrument than play games. Phobophile asks, is there an ideal book, video, or correspondence course you recommend for those of us who have never touched a piece of clay but want to try making a mask?
No, but I'm actually working on a video, which will be a how to make a mask from the very beginning, and that's going to be out here, I would say, within a month. Me and Robert Alcala are working on that.
That's awesome. 1980 says, a goblin nutcracker would be a new Halloween decoration.
Yes.
Riot Demon says, I would love the switch. And the rotate places.
Yeah.
Bloody FX recommends pretty much anything from Stan Winston on mask making.
I do somewhat. Here's why I hesitate a little bit. The problem is that those guys who do those videos, their level, they're so proficient and they're so good at it, it's a little bit overwhelming. And I hate even saying this, but I think my stuff is better for someone just learning, simply because you can see the screw-ups that I make. You can see that, oh yeah, I might be able to do that better. Because I'm just trying to show you guys technique, you know?
Craig says, that would be killer, exquisite corpse style.
What is exquisite corpse? What's exquisite corpse?
It is a mystery. It's a little chilly. Blackcraft27 says, watched your video today of making the Dementors from Harry Potter. It has inspired me to make some this weekend. I just need to find the material.
Very cool. I will post a list on the Creepers page here very shortly. Actually, I'll probably post it on YouTube too.
Angie Rogers says, I take Keppra for seizures. It can't be in real bright LED lights. Driving in the dark can be hard on me if they have bright lights.
Gotcha.
Captain Marga says, now I really need to come visit. I would so be down for rotational sculpting.
Cool.
Enigma asks, does pledge adversely affect wet clay if I'm trying to reuse it out of the mold?
Not at all. It adds a little wax to it. That's not a bad thing. Sometimes I'll pledge my sculptures in the middle and just keep going, you know?
JLR says, you also show us how to fix mistakes.
Yeah. That's a hope.
Ezekiel says, I liked watching Ed Edmonds' TV show for Mask Making too. It was good to see Giorgio and Mikey Rotella sculpt, etc.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Those guys are great.
Thank you, Scott Colhart, for the link to the Silicone Wolfman video.
Wow, from way back.
DJ Moore says, in my town we have a build guild. They do classes in different art mediums. For those who have never touched clay, look at local places that get classes. Botox Rock says, hi everyone, how y'all doing? That's good.
Hey, Botox. Good to see you on.
Kenneth Booth says, I play World of Warcraft. Do you think you could do up a Lich King? The original, not the brother.
I'd have to look. I don't know. I'm sure I could, but I'd have to look at it and see, you know, how that works.
Oh, that's really cool. Karen Dutton says, exquisite corpse is when different artists make different parts of a creature without seeing what the others are doing, and then they put them all together Frankenstein style.
Sounds interesting.
It does sound interesting.
Do they talk about it first?
I don't think they do. Maybe they do. I said that really confidently, like I knew what I was talking about. Jennifer Pugh says, I'm going to have to catch the replay tomorrow. Good night, Still Peace Crew. Will there be a live tomorrow evening?
No, tomorrow's Thursday. I'm off on Thursdays.
Nice Nady says, I'm sure if you grab the wrong gauge tool in the Stan Winston class, you'll hear about it. Vegan Doll says, hello, spooky people.
Hello.
Angie Rogers says, that looks like the Goblin Elf legend, my fave. One truly master, I'm one of your best goblins. Oh, that's my fave one. Truly master, I'm one of your best goblins. There you go.
Is your heart not black? Blacker than the foulest witch. Blacker than...
Black as night.
Black as night, black as pitch. Yeah. That was Blix, right?
Blitz.
Yep.
Yeah.
Craig says, exquisite corpse is similar to what you're talking about with drawing. Fold a piece of paper in thirds, fourths, etc. Draw something but only have the contour line showing on the next one.
Drawing. I'm thinking of like the whole the whole body. Like I'm making costumes in my head. I'm like, that'd be really hard. Those could look terrible.
Yeah. Ezekiel says, man, I'd love to sit side by side with my wife and sculpt. Blessed you are.
I am. I really am.
Jordan Easels is very witchy. Amy Watkins asked, how would I properly store my mask if not in use?
You don't want it to be in direct sunlight, so you can put a bag over it, like you can bag it, keep it, you know, dust off of it and stuff, and then you can, you know, put it in a cool, dark place is ideal.
Finn Godwolf says, legend!
Oh,
Tank
I
says,
love that movie.
hey, Alan and wife, and everyone else, how's the haunt going? Guess you were allowed to have your haunt this year.
No, not allowed to have my haunt this year. COVID. So I'm here instead of at the haunt working, or else I would be at the haunt doing stuff.
Josh Newman says, I like all your YouTube, all the Harry Potter Dementors.
Why, thank you.
Fred Shea says, I thought the goblins and legend and the diamond in that movie were excellent. I'd love to make that demon cowl with the 3 foot, the horns 3 foot long.
I've made that once in my life, and I may probably do another set of legendy horns again. I've done Krampuses with horns almost that big.
Celeste Kitty says, Blood Diner would be a great date movie for tomorrow, Alan.
It would indeed. It would
Aaron
indeed.
Dutton says, at the glass studio where I work, we have made exquisite corpse sculptures working at different teams. They can't see what the other teams are doing.
That's
Price for
so
Glass
cool.
Studio. Oh, wow. Thank you, Jennifer Pugh. She sent us $20.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Y'all are the sweetest.
Okay, so I put on a lot of big features. Wife, I'm going to show you just where I'm at right now with mine, just so you can see. I think you're moving along on the same process.
You just give us some basics.
Ross Richard asks, what would you classify the creatures from Ernest Scared Stupid?
They were trolls. They were, they called them trolls, so they were trolls.
175 folks watching right now.
Hi everybody, I am making a goblin, and I'm gonna, Stan, would you move the camera around and show people what the wife is working on?
Chad Smith asks, has Dark Hour gotten a lot of tour guests? How many do you have in the next couple of days?
Those are the new news.
Yeah.
I'm cobbling them together.
Wife, can I see where you're headed?
Michelle Schulte says, gonna have to go, guys. Cash us later, Shannon, you got this. Can't wait to see you. Night Freakers.
No doubt that she does have it. I don't think she's worried about having it either.
You're getting a lot
Have
of
they
things
started your tours Dark Hour already?
No, first tour for Dark Hour is tomorrow, actually. Tomorrow evening. I will go in and do a tour.
Are you guys sold out?
I think there might be still some spots on the Halloween morning spot, but all the rest are sold out.
I waved at the camera, and Nico says I waved back.
Hooray.
Jeremy says, Ernest Scared Stupid had lactose intolerant trolls.
Well, you never know. So, I mean, if maybe the whole thing where they turn to stone in the sun, maybe that is a type of calcification that they go through. You never know.
Claudia FX Makeup says, where are you guys located in the U.S.?
We're in the Dallas, Texas area. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking a rake tool. It's got little salt teeth on it. I'm going over my whole sculpture and kind of smoothing it out this way, and it's sort of showing me those big forms.
Chad Smith says, any chance this is going to be based off the Scooby-Doo ghost character?
Wife?
Have no idea, Chad.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's a no.
No idea, Chad.
Jordan asks, you aiming for a screaming ghost, Shannon?
No idea, Jordan.
Jeremy says, remember, my act was used to defeat it.
Oh, that's the good one.
Yeah.
Enigma says, what book or movie should I look at to get a good understanding of werewolves?
There is a book called Meet the Werewolf by a guy named Daniel Cohen, and that was one of my favorite werewolf books. I still have it. There's also a good book about werewolves by Montague Summers.
Mike Trzanowski says, she is focused. Tank says, only the Sculpt knows what it is and will become. Only the shadow knows. Greg Watkins says, gotta go work on a proton pack for my son to wear to school tomorrow. Good night, everyone. Happy Halloween. That's awesome. I did one a couple of years ago. The year that
That's very sweet.
the Ghostbusters reboot came out, Evelyn was a Ghostbuster for Halloween. Thank you, Katie Elliott. Tipped us $2 or £2. Riot Demon says, if you like trolls, check out Troll Hunter on Netflix, the Norwegian film, not the cartoon.
It's a good one.
Angie Rogers says, "Awoo, Werewolves of London." Just popped in my head just now.
On the movie.
Ezekiel, I'll get him to repeat it when he comes back out of the bathroom. the book author on werewolves.
Daniel Cohen. Cohen.
Angie Rogers says, Norback Trolls.
And Montague Summers was another one. Montague Summers.
Bobophile says, John Skip also edited an anthology of werewolf stories that's worth reading for a variety of perspectives.
Cool.
Ezekiel says, "Awoo, Wolfman of Quinlan."
That's right. There is now bear hair everywhere. All this flocking.
Yep.
These will be the hairiest sculptures.
Hair. We're officially out of.
Acrylic? Okay.
Oh my goodness.
I was angling stuff. And
Yep. Like, no, it's fine. I'll get it in there.
it's gonna work. It's gonna be okay.
Alexa, add acrylic to my shopping list.
Celeste Kitty says, love Troll Hunter, one of the few movies with subtitles my hubby will watch. Currently being sat on by my wuss of a husky mix because hubby turned on the Dremel to do a tombstone.
This one.
Hmm?
That one.
Yeah,
Like that one.
That's a good one.
That's the good one.
Yeah.
Sneaky tool planning.
I need to do this first.
I didn't know that the Dremel has ever bothered the dogs.
No.
Either.
But there's that one video where I'm using a saw as a scare, and they don't care.
Yeah, they're not bothered. Conscious of subconscious says motu motu motu.
Yeah, no Motu tonight, but maybe next time.
Conscious of subconscious, are you just now joining the stream? Because you may be behind.
Yeah, I think you're still voting on things that have been decided.
Blackcraft27 says, is your goblin going to be painted green?
There will at least be some green goblins.
I mean, we have a goblin flesh.
We do, which is flesh-colored flesh.
Subconscious of subconscious says, do the Masters of the Universe once for the love of God. Also, show your Masters of the Universe collection.
Well, I have done lots of Motu masks already. We did Leech, we did Beastman, we did Skeletor, we did Merman twice, and Stinkor. We did Stinkor. We did a lot.
Clawful.
I just did Clawful. Would you pull the Clawful mask over and show him Clawful?
Angie Rogers says, wish me and my boyfriend did stuff like this.
You just gotta make him do it.
Karen Dutton says, Alan just added acrylic to everyone's AliexA at home.
Sorry, guys.
Misty Gisere, she says, most of the people who are going through the haunt I'm working at is by reservation, and we've been sold out the last 2 Saturdays, and this Friday and Saturday are sold out.
Clawful. Yeah.
Give him a little side shot. Yeah, Clawful.
Clawful.
Crazy for Fishing says, I'm watching you live on my phone while watching your videos on my TV. Every time you talk to AliexA, my AliexA picks it up and answers you every freaking time.
Awesome. Good thing about me speaking in a clear, distinct voice.
Finn Godwolf says, if you like trolls, check out the movie Ashlad. It's free on YouTube if you like it.
I loved Ashlad. I thought that was excellent. So there's Ashlad is one, and then there's another one. It is like the blacksmith and the devil, and they are these like almost old morality tales. I love them.
Brian Oaks says, hello from Sheffield, UK.
Hello, Brian Oates.
Warmonger says, I smell trolls. I think he just got excited about the Masters of the Universe stuff, and I think he's just a little late into the stream.
One of my favorite bands is from Sheffield, UK.
Nice.
They come to Texas all the time to play.
What's their name?
The Molly Ringwalds.
Oh, they are great.
The
They're
Molly
great.
Ringwolves?
They do 80s covers and dress in 80s costumes. They have their own music. It's awesome.
All right, if we're alive in the 80s, it's not 80s costumes, it's 80s clothes. Let's be clear about that.
I don't know if they were alive in the 80s, they were really young.
Yeah.
Andrew Rogers says, we talk about it, but he never wants to until I show him what I'm doing, like cooking. And then I'll start, and he'll end up finishing it.
Well, then you're the one. You're the problem. You got stuff to fix, young lady.
Ron Shep says, Blacksmith and the Devil was a great movie.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that, and the devil costume was very well. It's a special effects costume, but it was good. It was fun.
Christian Ty Edwards says, boy oh boy, a long one tonight.
We'll go until 10 p.m. our time. So right now it's 8:45. It's almost 9, and we're going to be getting the bones in on these sculptures.
Amy Watkins says, will you be selling any eye cushions for inside the masks?
Yes, we have masquerades.
Amy
Are they
asked
on
us
our,
to get that.
they're not on our site yet,
No.
but they'll be on there soon. As soon as this is over, I'm going to speak. I'll send a strongly worded letter to my webmaster.
The webmaster's waiting for you to put the video on. We've already shot.
All right.
Okay.
Andrew Rogers says, yes, I do, sir. I have stuff to work on.
Yeah.
Tank says, everything 80s is coming back. DJ Moore says, I lived through the 80s once. I don't need to repeat it. Finn Godwolf says, I haven't seen The Blacksmith and the Devil. That'll be the next movie I watch.
You know what? I like those type of movies. I really do.
JLR asks, is there a time limit on the clay before it dries?
Technically, yes, but it's not a factor tonight. You could keep a sculpt going for a few weeks, just wet it down, you know.
Mike Chersanaski says, do you use screen for eyes? If so, do you use contact cement to bond?
I will on occasion use screen for eyes. Lately, I've been using a latex-friendly hot glue, which is not regular hot glue, because regular hot glue does not flex. This hot glue does flex.
Enigma says, Webmaster sounds like a villain name.
Webmaster.
Ezekiel says, I refuse to move on from the 80s.
I'm with you, Ezekiel. I'm with you.
Victoria Seaver says, hello, love the live ones.
How you doing, wife?
Good.
Feeling your jawbone?
Mhm.
That's so awesome. Checking reference. Love it.
Cat Swift says, I spent way too much of the 80s in childbirth. Do not want to return to them.
So yeah, that's that.
I spent a brief portion of the 80s in childbirth. But it was being born.
That's the better end of it.
Andrew
When
Rogers
you're
says, I'm a
done.
1980 baby. I'm a 1984 baby.
When you're done, someone else cleans you up. It's nice.
Yeah.
You get slapped, but you get over that.
Celeste Kitty says, when you and your friend do the sculpting videos, Alan, I implore you to look into putting it on Skillshare.
I'll Stan,
Sir.
look into Skillshare and see what it takes to get on there.
I know they sponsor a bunch of other YouTubers who do stuff. Phobophile says, every time I try to move on from the 80s, the present does something to make me want to go back.
I want to go back, do it.
Line Cook Thor says, I'm a 1983 baby. You're older than me. Ezekiel says, mullets and fluoro guitars, 80s was kind to me.
Yeah. What kind of guitars?
Fluorescent, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Fluoro?
Probably one of those Australia words.
Riot Demon says, woo, 1983. Ben Godwolf says, Alan, check out the movie The Shamer's Daughter. It's Danish with English subtitles. It's worth watching, even if you don't like subtitles.
Alexa, add The Shamer's Daughter to my watch list.
Adding to watch list is currently not supported.
Boo.
Alexa, add The Shamer's Daughter to my shopping list.
Shamer's daughter added.
Ross Richard, it was 1988. Tina Kusiak says, I'm a 1984 baby too. July for me. What month for you? Also July. What day for you? Ezekiel says, fluorescent or neon. I forget I don't speak American. Victoria
Yes.
Siebert says, hello from Rochester, New York. Love you guys. Making stuff all the time at Grim Granny's.
That's awesome. Grim Grannies, that's the best.
DJ Moore says, and everyone's alien. Say adds the Shamer's Daughter to the shopping list.
Yes, they do.
Everyone should watch it. Celeste Kitty says, your goblin looks like he has a smirk, almost looks like he has a smirk. Maybe a raised eyebrow to match.
That's a possibility.
Tina says the 8th. I'm the 17th. We're close. Kathy Coleman says, you have my Echo Dot doing everything you're asking yours to.
Sorry.
Angie Rogers says, my Tinker Cat loves laying on my leg and listen to chat.
What's a Tinker Cat? Is it just a cat named Tinker, or is that like a breed?
It is mystery. Warmonger says, I was born in 1973, have an old coot.
76.
76. Slightly less old coot.
Ruggedly Handsome says, born in 71, the 80s were my teenage years. It was arguably the best time period to be a teenager. Slasher movies, big hair bands, and no cell phones. I need a time machine.
All of the cocaine.
All of it.
Back when it was expensive.
Ezekiel says, Siri is too much of an idiot to understand Alan's shopping list. Angie says, my cat's name is Tinkerbell.
Aha.
Ezekiel says, 69, you babies.
What are we, baby?
Riot Demon says, can we see a quick front view of the ghost?
Yes.
Tank says, I'm 83 and I still feel old. TK guess 61, I'm older. Woo! Lisa Art, 67, got you all beat. Sons of Wayne, 65.
Wife, I'm going to give them a quick view. Ah.
Robert White says, try 195. $77 for Horror Beauty. Christopher Lizotte, 73. JLR, 62. Enigma says, youngest here. Realm says, looking good. Kim B.I. Brad Kennedy, 64. Scott Collard, 63. Telework Studios, 57 as of October 7th.
The Knocks on the Moon.
Chad Smith says, I've been doing a little bit of research into Christmas characters for possible mask ideas. Having a hard time finding some original ideas, I may just have to make them up.
No, Chad, make the Yule Lads. Look up all of the Yule Lads. That is 12 or 13 masks that you get to make. Make a Gryla and then make all the Yule Lads.
Phobophile says, I may be younger, but I have the hairline and back pain of someone who has me beat by decades.
Hooray!
Amen.
Yeah.
1959, Robert White said. Have problems typing.
Well, he's in the hospital,
You're in
right?
the hospital, you have an excuse.
Yeah.
Tom Everett says, was born on the 15th of September in the year 1966. Sleeping Link says 1963 here. Celeste Kitty says, looking ghosty, Shannon, and 1986 here. Misty Jazersky says 45 for me. DJ Moore says I turned 47 in December, age just a number. The more numbers you achieve, the better it is.
Yes.
Ezekiel says right now as a 69 engine light comes on. Damn, that's nice. TK Guest says I think I won the old Coop Award.
Hooray!
Ron Shep says liking the Sculpt Shannon. Olivia Zaragoza says 1963. TK Guest says, poo, I lost in 1959. Tank asks, Alan, what are you doing with the broom head?
I tapped a little bit on the sculpture to give it some texture. That's all. This is not at all a final texture. It is. I wanted to see a couple things, and sometimes a lack of texture means that you can't see what you're looking for.
Cat Swift says, okay, I'll admit, I was born in 51, but I act like I was born in the 90s, much to the dismay of the kids.
Hooray!
Ross Richard says, Troll looks like it could be a makeup for Jim Carrey.
Okay.
Line Cook Thor says, looking good, Shannon. Howard Beauty says, clarifying, I was born in 1977, not that I am 77 years old.
You look darn fine for 77, Horror Beauty.
Realms says, 2004, probably the youngest here. Chad Smith says, thanks, Alan, I've never seen these. Good stuff to work from. Warmonger says, I'm like old wine, bitter and harsh. Christopher Lizotte says, Mom said never say the F word. 40s. Robert White says, May 1959. James Baker says 1952. He says, okay, older than Rob White. Six String Slaya says, why did you spray the goblin with pledge?
Because I wanted to kind of water it down in order to paint it out and smooth it out a little bit. However, I didn't want to wait for it to dry, so I'm using pledge, which dries faster than water.
Ezekiel says, 51 going on 17. Still growing my hair and carrying on like a teen.
Yeah.
Realms says, had fun tonight, gotta get some sleep. Good night.
Good night, Realms.
Good night.
Tank says, ha, my mom's F word is fat. Joanne Crowley says, just old. Chad Smith says, I just celebrated the first anniversary of my 40th birthday.
Hooray. So, Alexa, countdown 30 minutes.
30 minutes, starting now.
And that is, I'm not working on my ears right now at all. I'm going to work on the face. And then in 30 minutes, I will start working on my ears.
Patty Vance says, I guess I'm in second place, born in 56. Shannon, you sure are quiet.
She's concentrating.
Ezekiel says, if I say any F word around my mom, she still clips me.
Stacy,
Yeah.
let me say. My darlings, this is how it works here. Hey, wife, you're going to sculpt tonight. Bam. So if I'm quiet, it's because I have had minimal time to prepare for this in front of all you nice folks. This is how it gets. Watch for the bus. It is not easy being Mrs. Hobbs. So if I'm quiet, I'm focused because I didn't know this was going to happen for weeks ahead of time. I took vows.
Please do not worry about me.
I did offer her chances to back out.
TK Guest says, thanks for keeping me company.
Do not.
I'm you cool for hours, still completing another Annabelle
Remember you saw
doll.
the couch?
Enigma says, me and Realms of the Babies. I'm 94.
Yes, you are.
Cat Swift says, what's cool about old is that at a certain age you just get by with everything. Just smile and they just shake their heads at you. C. Dempsey says, we love you, Shannon.
Well, I love you too.
Film 1982 says, hello from Houston. I used your video and made a nice Dementor. Scared the poop out of my wife.
Oh, that was
She didn't
fast.
die though. And still
Wow,
had
you
a
made
good
it.
time.
You made it today. That's awesome.
That's fast.
Yeah, you ain't messing around.
Tank says, wife, that's why we love you. Horror Beauty says, you're doing good, Shannon.
Thanks.
Just give us a word or two so we know you're doing okay.
Guys, don't worry about me. You guys are y'all are burning so many calories concerned about me, I promise you.
Amy Watkins says, go Shannon! Ezekiel says, she needs wine now.
This is not scary, and I'm not nervous. I'm just concentrating. You're accustomed to Alan telling stories for hours while he whips out a sculpt in a minute. And I'm just concentrating, so please don't worry.
Warmonger says, so we've come to the conclusion that Alan and Shannon are running an old age home online. Well, we have bingo.
Well, yeah, we do have bingo. Half the old people are just here because they heard bingo.
Rachel Powell says, plague mask is all contact cemented together. Have a bit more sculpting to do on the foam and straps to add, and then paint and done.
That is awesome.
Now onto a hockey mask and liquid nails to change the profile a bit.
Yeah.
Mark Ray says, happy to see you, Hops, and Shannon, you know you wouldn't change a thing. Scott Kohler says, Shannon, you're doing great.
Thanks.
Kat Swift says, Shannon, it is really great for you to do this. It really, really helps those of us who are new. Celeste Kitty says, I figured it out. She sculpted the ghost of Alan for putting her on the spot.
Bye, guys.
Captain Margaret says, you're doing an awesome job, Shannon. Mira and I are both watching tonight.
This is not on the spot.
Sleeping Link says, usually when people ask me how old I am, I tell them I'm 29.
29. That's
Yeah.
funny.
Horror Beauty says that they have wine and painting night here. They're just changing it up. Wine and sculpting night.
Yeah, I didn't fortify.
Patty Vance says, you're very brave, Shannon. Alan, you are very blessed.
Oh, I know it.
Sons of Wayne says, yay, bingo. Blackcraft27 says, I concentrate better with an alcoholic beverage. DJ Moore says, I hate having no wine on projects, and still, my husband gives me no wine.
So would this be best for cutting in these?
The wrinkles? Are they wrinkles
They're
or are
not
they?
really wrinkles. They're very soft, and it's very fluid.
Then I would use that. I just actually cut one of these with a hard point on it for me. And I know that I have one with a hard point on it.
Is that better than this?
I would use a hard point for those.
So this one?
Yeah, that's it.
Ezekiel says, the Peter Pan syndrome is strong in this one.
Probably use that style.
Misty
It's not gonna go
Jazersky
deep. Yes, Misty?
says, I want to make a ghost like in your video today. I just needed to stop raining first.
Yeah, no kidding. You know what? I got the window on that. Like the day after we did that, it started pouring and it really hasn't stopped. So I'm so glad. Stan was here, Stacy was here, and we did that.
Cranked it out. Chad Smith says, I have a hard time talking while sculpting. I get into child coloring with tongue hanging out focused.
A lot of people do, and I get a lot of sculptors like, man, how can you talk to people while you're sculpting? I've been doing it for a while, and I'm just at ease.
I've been doing it for 30 minutes.
And I another thing about me is that I assume everybody out there is as competent and as comfortable doing whatever it is as I'm doing. You know, and it's honestly, if you said, hey Alan, something came up, I need you to do brain surgery today. Okay, let's do brain surgery, and I'd be fairly okay with doing it. You know, that wouldn't freak me out. So, you know, if I'm your best option, then I'm going to give it a shot.
Love the Bearded says, shrunken head question. Will a toy doll head from the thrift store be a good base to start?
No, because dolls are fat, and a shrunken head is shrunken, and the features are different. So I would not go with a doll head, because doll heads are pretty much round balls. Get yourself a big hunk of aluminum foil and sculpt out the basic shape of aluminum foil. That's your start.
Rachel Powell says, I love being an observer on the outside of y'all's relationship. You guys complement each other famously.
Yes, she is strong where I am weak. That's for sure.
Christopher Lazat says, if you ever go to a bingo hall, make sure you really have bingo before calling out bingo. Those bingo regulars will yell at you or throw daggers at you.
Yeah, well, that's just kind of a jerk move no matter what, you know? It's like going to the beach and yelling shark. I don't want to do that.
Tank says, ha, Shannon tells us not to worry about her, and then that's all we do.
Yeah, you guys are burning calories.
Oh, Captain Margaret, my bad. It is pronounced like Mariah. Mariah, you gotcha.
Words are hard.
Well, it's spelled M-Y-R-Y-H-A.
She's only an English major.
Listen. Angie Rogers says, I love you guys. Ezekiel says, Texas and Brisbane run parallels. It's pouring down here to storms, etc. Mike Cherzanowski says, I had clay for 2 months. Now I have a little more confidence. Phobophile says, brain surgery is not that hard. Though I'm still bitter they made me pregnant and a dummy when I took that class back in the day.
I want to go in detail, which is probably too early. But I'm trying to, is that going to be enough to be sunken in like that? Do I need to build
I
that
would
up?
actually sink in. Go all the way down and expose those eyes.
Take it off of the,
Yeah.
take it off
Take it off the eyeball. That way you can just expose those eyes, and then you have another half an inch or so.
Okay.
Ezekiel says, can we flip the script to get Shannon and Alan in the kitchen where Shannon takes the reins and teaches Alan how to make a brisket?
Brisket would take a long time. Like, if we did something that didn't take that long, sure.
Warmonger says, I'm happy and somewhat giddy that Shannon is sculpting. I take it being married to Alan is a full-time job with overtime.
Without doubt. I knew people would be happy that she was sculpting. That's why I asked her to do it.
Horror Beauty says, thank you, Shannon, for making me burn more calories. The last 30 pounds is the hardest to lose.
That's a pleasure.
Okay, I'm pretty close on my face. I'm not there, but this is not one that I'm going to do. One of the issues that I run into is when I try to do a lot of detail and wrinkles and stuff, they look old, and I don't want this to look old.
Rachel Powell says, maybe make an apple pie instead of brisket. Phobophile says, I second the request for a cooking show. Maybe that'll be bonus content on Patreon.
There you go, yes. I'm down, yes.
No, you know,
They're not here for cooking, they're here for making monsters.
your Thanksgiving turkey, that should definitely go up there.
Yeah, I do get to decorate the turkey every year.
Ezekiel says, apple pie, peach ice cream. Line Cook Thor says the cooking show would be awesome. Signing you up for all brand new revenue streams here. Buckle up, Shannon. It's gonna be great. Tank says, if we burn enough calories,
Welcome to my world.
maybe I won't have to use the F word around Mom again. Captain Margaret says, no worries, Stacey, I know it's spelled weird. Well, thank you for letting me know. I will not forget. Riot Demon says, I'd watch. Celeste Kitty says maybe do more furrow lines instead of wrinkles. I third the cooking show idea.
Yeah, at some point they always look like wrinkles. And I don't want this to look old again.
Warmonger says I'm digging the profile of both sculpts. Chad Smith says, so I have a really stupid question. Have you ever sculpted something and arrived at the end so quickly that you think maybe you should do more? This recently happened to me and I felt rushed.
Yes. But then I do more. I look at my visual reference and I find out what it tells me I'm missing and what I need to do with it.
He says, but it looked good and I hit all the points I was trying to hit.
There you go. How much better could it have been if you spent another hour?
That did help.
158 people watching right now.
Hi, everybody. This is me. I'm Alan, and I am sculpting a mask, and that's my wife Shannon, and she's sculpting a mask. This is the 2000th mask or so that I have sculpted, and this is Shannon's first mask that she has sculpted. So, yeah.
Ezekiel says, you have all bases covered. Masks, cooking, fashion with Stan, headwear with Stacy, and well, we can find something for Rob.
Yeah.
Enigma says, that falls on the art is abandoned saying.
Things are not finished. Art is not finished. It's never finished. It's only abandoned. Yeah, I don't necessarily believe that. I think sometimes you're done, you know. He said he hit all the notes he had to hit. But if you have more time, then invest more time.
My editor said, nothing is ever finished. There's only deadlines.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Tank says, just throwing this out there, a drive-in is a good way to social distance while getting that Halloween feeling again. There are a few around still playing Halloween movies.
There are, yes. A lot of other places have picked them up. I don't know that we've done. I haven't seen many open in Dallas, per se.
Dallas has been doing the Cabaret thing, where they have like a little bit of a live show with some characters in costumes or whatever, and then it's a pop-up drive-in.
Yeah.
They've been doing it in like Richardson. That's where we went to go see Flash Gordon.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah. Cat Swift says, I always find one of the hardest things in the build is knowing when to say it's done and stop.
That is not an issue that I have.
Riot Demon asks, how do you decide to retire a mold? Is it when it breaks or something else? And how many masks can you get out of one mold?
Normally you lose detail, and you'll get about 40 masks out of the mold. You get 10 beautiful pulls, 10 good pulls, and then 20 meh pulls. You could continue and get 10 or so more terrible pulls if you wish.
So there is side conversation here talking about Peach Crown Royal, which I was unaware was a thing, but sounds amazing. Ezekiel says he's about to try and brew an apple pie moonshine. I'm looking for Peach Crown Royal.
There you go.
Joe Boss says, like Bob Ross said about painting, don't fiddle it to death.
Don't fiddle it to
I struggle with that. Like,
I do not.
it's never done until I've completely taken it too far.
This paint job is good. Let me muddy this up.
Yeah,
for you.
let me absolutely just
Put another coat of shellac on.
yeah, it's fine. Chad Smith says, I'm still gonna get a hold of that salted caramel whiskey. Eric Luttrell says, hey buddy, Target didn't have the 6-foot snake skeleton.
Oh, it's a shame. That is a shame.
Tank says, with a happy little tree. Riot Demon says, if there's a sculpt that is super popular, do you try and just resculpt the same mask, or can you make more than one mold from the original sculpt?
You do you foam fill a mask, a pull from it, and then you mold that foam filled pull. That's called making a buck, and then you make a mold from that buck.
Christian Ty Edwards says, what time is it there? I'm on Eastern Standard.
It is 9:11. I think we're an hour behind you.
Joe Boss says, haha, you guys are like a family to us, and I'm new here.
Huh.
Cat Swift says, one of my kids is showing silly Halloween movies on their garage door all week, and the neighborhood kids sit on the sidewalk to watch. Warm, Southern California.
That is awesome.
Finn Goggles says, I've seen Alan beat the devil out of his brush like Bob Ross does.
That's right. Beat the devil out of it.
You know, actually, it is really cool that you and Bob Ross have that same kind of vibe going on, that people go back and watch your stuff and
Yeah.
make stuff along with you. My grandmother taped all the Bob Ross stuff.
I did too.
And she went back and painted along with him, kind of, you know, being able to pause it whenever she needed to. And so step by step, she painted just a ton of them. We got them all over the house out there.
I was doing something and I was cruising through just YouTube videos, and one that popped up was these people had to paint along with Bob Ross, and they were being judged on how good the painting was at the end of it.
Yep. Was it the Try Guys?
I don't remember.
They did one where they're like,
Yes. I'm gonna put down post-it notes online. Okay. Yes.
So, it says very soft, very fluid. I'm trying to start to make the preliminary cuts there to where that's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
When I start to try and smooth this, well,
Hold on. Let me get you what you need for smoothness.
give me something that's going to help make this, start smoothing it and make it a little more fluid. Because I'm looking at combining,
Yes.
this area between the eye and the mouth. Right now, it's making some trenches, makes it very difficult.
Water is what we're doing. So, like, look at how hard those lines are.
Yes,
It's gonna soften it up.
yeah. Well, I was thinking maybe when you do it like a plastic wrap. When you do that
You
before
could
too,
do that.
the water's better. See what I'm saying?
Water is a good eroder and smoother.
See what I'm saying right here? When you get between the eyes and the mouth, there's spots where they're just gonna trench out, which
Mhm.
I like, but I'm afraid I've got this built up too much and it's not gonna, it'll be
You
flat.
have a point here for your cheekbone and then a point for your mouth. And if you look on this one, look at how close the mouth is. Like the
Yeah.
top of that mouth is all the way up here with the nose. So
This
you'll
needs to
have
come
to,
up more
yeah, it needs to come up a little bit more for that reference.
for this to, okay.
Christian Ty Edwards asks, fan of Michael Myers, Jason, Leatherface, or Freddy?
They're okay. I'm not big on slashers because a lot of them, I guess Freddy of those is my favorite because he has a big supernatural element to his story. So I prefer Freddy in that case. Jason has kind of become a big supernatural element. He didn't start that way. So, but I like them to be monsters and not people. Leatherface is just a very challenged man who had very poor growing up circumstances. And that's a really sad story. It's not scary to me. It's like that guy needs Child Protective Services.
Tank asked, will your buck have the same detail as the mask? How
Yes.
many bucks can you get out of the original mold?
Well, 40. I just answered how many masks you can pull out of it. So you could make a mold and then make 40 blanks out of it. $40. And there you go.
Fold fell on it. Joe Boss says, I watched Bob for 10 years, I still watch him sometimes. Cat Swift said there's a Bob Ross channel on Roku.
He was on Netflix. I don't know if he still is.
Yeah, he was
The
for a
joy
while.
of painting.
All of it was on Netflix, and that was wonderful.
Warren
I
Walker
would-
says Alan needs a large afro like Bob Ross.
I'm more likely to get a mullet.
You need,
Much.
you need a squirrel.
You need a squirrel like. You need a squirrel.
Tank says I'm a huge Jason Voorhees fan, also love the Freddy.
Yes.
Enigma asks Alan, approximately how many sculpting tools do you have in your arsenal? Just directly related tools, like rakes, picking tools, etc.
Oh.
A lot.
Yeah, I probably have 200 or 300 sculpting tools.
Mike Murphy says, you want to see a good movie, watch The Giant Claw. Christian Ty Edwards says, true stuff, though I'd say Michael Myers has some supernatural mystery to him.
Yeah, I mean, he's picked it up, obviously, throughout the years. They keep making sequels. They're like, well, we gotta do something. So, yes.
Brian Downer says, hello, may I see the face of each of your sculpts?
Yes.
I'll move around.
Too much water? Is he pooling? Goblin.
Goblin. And then we'll come around.
And I'm actually about to take the wire to my skull. So you might want to leave it over here in the bed.
Okay.
Why would you show them what you got there?
Show them what you got.
Understand, we're in process.
Spooky.
Both of us are in process.
Alright.
Okay, I need to find my wire
There.
cutter real quick. It looks like a piece of steel wire
Yeah, that's not appear to be over here.
with some handlers on it.
It's in your kit box.
Maybe. Where's that at?
Here, this one. Ah,
A fire.
I'm hoping. Joanna Crowley says, I got bored with slasher movies. Jeremiah Dempsey asks, as you make a mask, you sculpt it 10% larger for shrinkage. If you plan on making a buck, do you have more shrinkage to compensate for?
You do. Yeah, because it's going to shrink that one more time.
Brian Downer says, awesome. Tank says, Michael Myers changes every decade. I don't even know what's canon at this point. Still enjoy the movies, though.
Yeah.
Finn Godwolf says, the sculpts are looking great. Great job, Shannon, for your first one. Riot Demon says, Alan has some clay in his eyebrow. Really getting into it.
I think that's just gray hair, guys.
It must have fallen off because multiple people.
Oh.
Line Thor says, not the wire.
It's
Oh.
time for the wire.
Did you even tell them to brace themselves?
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Brian Denner says, I often use a cheese cutter. I made one with a swirled wire.
That's better. Shortening up that chin, I think, really helped. My face was a little too long to read as a good goblin to me. So,
Tank said, yeah, clay fell out. DJ Moore says, it's not gray hair, it's wisdom highlights. Well, at least according to my husband.
hooray. I agree with him. That man's a genius.
Calling it hair glitter.
Hair.
Starting to get like little wisps here on either side of the thing. I'm like, come on, double rogue stripe, come on!
Should I cut out the mouth like I did the eyes? That's gonna be hard
It's
to do.
not necessary. No, I wouldn't. And you're going to have to, because your reference doesn't have, it's not hard focus,
No.
you're going to have to fake some texture in there. And what I would do, you mind if I come over?
Nope, I don't.
Like the source says, I'm losing my hair.
I do not know who my, like family-wise, we don't know who my mother's father is. And that's who you base your baldness off of. So I don't know if I'll lose my hair or not. I feel like I'm going to hang on to it because of how long I've had it.
Yeah.
But my hair's very thin. It's just, but it's you know, it's been the same. Okay, so in here, I would give it like a texture, you know, just like this, you know, and that way there's something visually happen in that space that's not just black.
Brian
that
Downer
make
says,
sense?
those are, I knew that, rays.
Okay. You're saying that it's going to mold like that? Or are you just saying to do that right now while I'm working on
That would be part of the mold, part of the sculpt.
it? Even though in my reference it's a
We
canvas,
can
right.
still paint this black. We can still paint it black, but you have to have something happening here. And if you come over here to the side, come over here to this side of me, you don't have any support for this, so build up like a little bit of a jaw that's happening over here. So that this is filled in a little bit, so it's a less stuck on. Does that make sense? Okay.
Ezekiel says, the old facial hair is salt and pepper, but my head hair at 51 is still hanging in for no praise.
Hooray.
Tank says, me too. I keep what I have as long as it will grow. Ed Kienis says, Halloween from Camp Humphreys, South Korea.
Hello.
I had a buddy who was stationed over there for a while. Brian Downer says, a mouth similar to Venom's fangs. JLR says, wow, Alan, your goblin looks so much better than Bethesda games.
Thanks. You know, honey, you might look up Carnage and Venom. That's actually not a bad reference for you to look up. Look up Marvel Carnage and look at how that is portrayed in some art.
Eric Luttrell says, hello from Kentucky, Mr. Predator Whip.
Hello, Kentucky.
Ezekiel says, part of me wants a 71-year-old Sculpt.
Wait till you're 71.
The Richard O'Brien look.
Yeah.
Patty Vance says, Alan, that would make such a cool witch. Witches are my favorite, so I tend to see witches in everything. Witches and werewolves I can't have enough of.
I hear you.
Fine, take your sandwich. I moved back because the dogs were like, hey, what's up?
Okay.
Maybe. Maybe it's a different sandwich. Ezekiel says, Phil Collins, Sculpt. Randy the Handsome says, I wish I'd thought of this earlier. I would have suggested for Shannon to consider doing Casper the Ghost for her first sculpt. That would have been cool to see.
I don't like the licensed character.
He's so bulbous. Brian Downer says, don't forget the troll's nose mole.
What was the other?
Carnage, Venom. Brian Downer says, and Joker's chin.
See the similarities?
Bald Eagle 1908 says, who is commentating?
Everybody. Stacy is reading the comments for us.
Craig says, fast and bulbous. Robert White, I hope they're giving you good drugs. Oh, Ezekiel. Flattery to get you everywhere. Jack269 says, hi.
Hey, Jack.
Warmonger says, Jasper the nice poltergeist. Tank says, way to go, Stacy. Thanks.
Hooray, reading.
Film 1982 says, do you accept visits at your studio? I'd really like to visit. Have a good mentoring conversation.
It's possible. Yeah.
Bald Eagle 1908 says, interesting. Are all these people your family? Only asking for first time watching and was curious.
No. So Stacy and Stan, who are here, they work in the shop. That's my wife, who's sculpting right next to me. Yeah.
We're haunt family.
Yes.
Eric Luttrell says, couldn't find the snake skeleton. Target didn't have them.
You mentioned that. You could check online. You could check more than one Target.
Where's the wire tool?
Breaking out the wire.
Whoa, dun dun dun.
It's happening.
Brian Downer says, yeah, he's making a bust of his cousin now. Tank says, I like to think of us all as family.
Yeah.
Line Cook Thor says, we are like one big family. Jack269 says, what are you making?
I'm making a goblin, and my wife is making a ghost.
Warmonger says, I'm a third cousin once removed.
Hooray.
Almacher Art says, hello everyone, sorry I'm late. Shannon is sculpting? Awesome, looks good.
She is. She's ghosting it up. I just got all my lumps that I put on here on the nose blended in. Now I'm going to do some... Can I borrow your water brush, or are you still using it?
Not at the moment, no.
Thank you.
Ezekiel says, family with hillbilly Aussie cousins.
Yeah.
Jack269 says, I thought you were making me.
The nose, isn't it?
Ed Candace says, headed to Fort Hood in Texas in January. Not very much Halloween over here. We miss the States.
Where are you?
He's in South Korea.
Oh, that's right. Alexa, stop.
Brian
Alexa, count down 10 minutes.
10 minutes, starting now.
Brian Downer says, sorry, I called a troll. My bad.
Oh, it's all good.
Bald Eagle 1908 says, what type of business do you all work in? A special effects company?
Yes. This is, I make masks and costumes for haunted houses, and this is a mask that I will add to my line. I'm gonna.
Celeste Kitty says, good thing this isn't a sculpting competition. Alan wouldn't have a ghost of a chance.
Ghosts. You with your ghosts.
Paul Bennett says, hi, Stacey. Hi, Paul. You can't hear me. Hi, Paul. Film 1982, possible is good for me. Can I send an email address and maybe set, or can I send an email and maybe set a date?
Stillpiecestudios@gmail.com.
Karen Dutton says, I've been enjoying Shannon's Great Pumpkin Project on Stillbeast Creepers.
Yes. It's also on her Instagram. Are you sharing her on the Still Beast Instagram, honey, or just yours?
No, not the Still Beast.
Okay.
I'm keeping it off Still Beast. There's enough going on Still Beast without me putting superficial things on there.
Gotcha.
Jack269 asks, do you have a website where you sell these?
We do. It is stiltbeaststudios.com. Stiltbeaststudios.com. Hopefully someone can get a link up.
I want it. Chad Smith says, I love the name of these lads. This is going to be fun.
Yes. There you go.
Anthony Patano says, still here, guys. Just playing Witcher 3 and enjoying you guys.
Awesome. One day I want to play Witcher 3. I actually purchased that on Steam, but I haven't downloaded it yet. I put in the first Witcher game and I played that a little bit.
What is Steam?
Steam is a service that allows you to get, it's like Netflix, but for video games on your computer.
Ezekiel says, I love the Undermite look.
About to throw some teeth in it.
Brian Downer says, sorry, I have to go. Bad headache. Have fun, and I know you will.
We will. We will.
Tank says, I'm familiar with Shannon's Great Pumpkin Project.
Someone could post a link to the Great Pumpkin Project, but wife, could you explain what the Great Pumpkin Project is?
In 2015, a gentleman on Instagram who has a blog started a project in which you don't have to do it every night, but you would take a pumpkin, carve it, and you leave it somewhere abandoned or spooky or somewhere where someone will see it. Maybe even just a abandoned building or some steps somewhere. Just find a place where people will see it, and as they are happening upon. Are you done with the brush? Ellen?
Yeah. Yep.
Where did the brush go? As you are happening, if you're out and about in October, and you happen upon a carved jack-o'-lantern that's lit, just left there. You just leave them there. You'll find very special places to leave them. It's very romantic, very old school, and this is our second year to do it, and we've done one every night, which is a lot of fun. And then we leave it somewhere for someone to find. A lot of the times, our pumpkins get eaten by wildlife, of which we have much, and or people take them home. So that's cool too. Maybe somebody needed a pumpkin and they just went ahead and took ours, and that is fun. But it's just a lovely spirit of Halloween project. And if you follow the hashtag Great Pumpkin Project or hashtag The Great Pumpkin Project, you can see people all over the country have started doing it. and that's in its 5th year. And it's just kind of special. It's on Instagram.
It's also a great date night to go out and place a pumpkin.
Ray Miller says the mask is looking awesome. Thank you for sharing your awesome talent. Truly an inspiration.
Very kind.
Thank you, Scott Colhart, for the link. DJ Moore, sorry, my first link didn't work. It's because if you're not a moderator, you can't post links in here.
Yeah, you can't
Scott
post
is
links.
On top of it. It says that it's truly awesome, Shannon. I love it.
You can see them. There's only 3 more to go.
You have the wire, honey?
Oh, I do.
Scott
Thank you.
Colhart is on his A game tonight.
All right, guys. Here's your 1, 2, 3. All right. I'm gonna change some things.
He is going to have to be super, super smooth. Almost satiny.
That's better. I had too much cheekbone.
I had too much jawbone.
Well, what you just added and beefed up, I really love. It justified what you had, you know. Okay, I feel better about that, but now these are a little too thick still. See, I'm going back and I'm fixing basic shape. I pressed forward, and I want to get that structure more refined.
Scott Colhart says, not the wire. Amanda Jensen said, that wire cutter scared me.
Time for the wire.
Rachel Powell says, I know you've said it before, but I can't remember. Is liquid nails sandable when it's cured?
Yes, it is.
Anthony Patano says,
Thanks.
Tank says, you make it look so easy, Alan. It's like you know what you're doing.
I may have done this once before, but just the one time.
C. Dempsey asks, are you going to add tusks in clay or after the pour?
This is not a troll. This is a goblin. So I don't think of tusked goblins. This is more of a goblin. I am going to add ears here in a minute. I put another timer on. When that timer goes off, I have to get into ear mode.
Chad Smith says, the wire is your friend.
The wire is your friend. Don't be afraid of just because, you know, especially if you're a little further into your sculpture, like I'm actually kind of far into it for how much I'm doing on this. You know, it helps me preserve that top detail and the basic big shapes, but I can take them down and shape with the wire.
Jack269 asks, what kind of material are you using to sculpt?
This is water-based clay. It is WED, which stands for Walter Elias Disney. It's just a water-based clay with glycerin mixed into it.
Anthony Patano says, Witcher 3 is on my Nintendo Switch.
Hooray.
Cat Swift says, a good thing in this crazy time is folks are looking at new, parentheses, old, ways to have Halloween fun with the kids. I spend half my shift explaining how to make stuff.
That's awesome.
Ezekiel says, oh, I keep forgetting to ask you, Alan, what was your Ronald McDonald type character's name again?
Rico McSicko. And the restaurant's name was McDonald's.
Warmonger says, weird, why are the dogs behaving tonight?
They are a little more sedate than usual. Now, granted, Boris ate a Yeti hand, but, you know, other than that, they're fine.
That's neither here nor there. Ed Pianis asks, have you ever done the 1988 Pumpkinhead movie mask?
I haven't. I don't do a lot of movie characters. And luckily, I'm not doing a movie character while I say that. Because I've done more lately. Thanks, pandemic. But I don't do a lot of them, so I just haven't. Now, I will probably do one inspired by Pumpkinhead down the road, because that's one of my favorite monsters.
Rylan Chow asks, what is the pumpkin mask called again?
Gordiator.
Coordinator.
I think it started as Gordiator.
It started as Gordiator
morphed
and it
into
turned into Gordiator, yeah.
Or you have pumpkin face.
And we have a blank that I named Pumpkin Face. So you can tell that how I name things versus how other people name things.
Ed Kiana says, yay, can't wait. Hello, boys.
And these are not less fun
Not really. I mean, if you look, there's my bag. There's a lump that I've got up there. I'm about to throw a bunch on mine for ears.
Forrest is like, what are you doing, Mom?
Alexa, stop.
Jack269 says, I just started to make my own masks, and I was wondering what kind of silicone or latex is the best kind for beginners.
So beginners, I wouldn't even go near silicone, simply because it's very expensive, and make your mistakes in something that's more forgiving budget-wise. So I would sculpt with wet clay. That's the cheapest. I would make a ultra-cal mold. That's the most durable and the most kind of foolproof. So.
Chad Smith says, what is the history/story of a goblin?
Well, it depends on which kind of goblin you want. A goblin is it's a bogey, you know, it's a monster.
Jake Quanine asks, what's the best tool for carving great stuff foam?
So there's actually it's a Sureform rasp. Is really nice, but a good rasp is really nice on great stuff. Here is where my pledge is biting me in the butt. That's not sticking at all over here. I pledged it, so it's got this waxy coating on it. Dust doesn't stick, and neither does your friggin' sculpt that you want to do anymore. Yep, it's just come right off. Look at how slick that is.
Celeste Kitty says, tell the story of a red cap goblin if you know it. That's a good one.
Red caps are goblins, and they're normally on the territory in between England and Scotland. Red caps tend to live in abandoned castles and derelict bridges. And red caps are like goblin champions, basically. There are always at least 2 red caps, and if a red cap dies, another goblin is promoted into that red cap position. And the red caps kill travelers and passersby, and they dip their hats in the blood of those people, and that's how they keep their hats red. And they favor carrying lockhaver axes, which are big axes with hooks on them, or like partisan pikes is what they tend to carry. And we always have red caps at our St. Patrick's Day show at Dark Hour.
All right, this is a Paul Bennett question,
Okay?
so you'll need to look at the camera to answer it.
Well, you'll need to type it once I say it.
Alan, what paint should I use for hair to glow under black light? Neon dipped spray paint?
Spray paint, just spray paint. Fluorescent spray paint. I did put my lips in camera, but who knows.
C. Dempsey asks, can I get one of the first pulls of the ghost blank with Shannon's signature?
She says yes.
Jake Quinine says, we use these things called cheese graters for cutting excess body filler. It looks just like a convex cheese grater. Is that kind of the same thing?
Yep, it's very similar.
Rotten Monster asks, what are you sculpting?
I am sculpting a goblin, and my wife is sculpting a ghost, because it's Halloween!
Ed Pianist asks, have you ever done pumpkin carvings?
Yes. We'll have done 32 of them this year, because we're dropping off a pumpkin every night as part of the Great Pumpkin Project.
Jack269 asks, what's your favorite scary movie?
Teen Wolf. Teen Wolf is my favorite scary movie. That may not be true.
Warmonger says, give us a quick peek of Shannon's sculpt on it.
Stacy will.
I am doing it. Looking spooky. Let's put you guys down. What do you think?
Want to do a straight on with mine now that I started yours?
Well, all right.
We're at 9:41. We got about 20 minutes left in this.
Tank says, okay, why did you cut the grooves in your sculpt?
Who? Probably Shannon.
Probably Shannon.
She's looking at her reference.
Do you
And again-
know, have you seen the movie Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yes.
I have.
Okay. At the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark and the finale, when they finally open the Ark, there's an apparition that comes out. It's this beautiful floating woman who then turns into a very skeletal,
Ghost Mess.
aggressive ghost. So her ghost changes and she's jagged, but she's fluid and soft, but full of all these very jagged edges. So what I want is for this to have that softness of a ghost,
Mm-hmm.
that softness of something that's not quite there apparition-wise, but the missing pieces that could show the skeletal part, the jaggedness of a jaw or teeth, and that is what I hope to get. It's not a traditional ghost. I want some softness, some fluidity.
Sounds a little bit like the library ghost from Ghostbusters
That's
too.
Yes.
that too. And if you want to see an idea of something, just just a very soft, very ethereal. So
Yeah.
I'm going for something that's going to look far better in haunt light than it will when I photograph
Well,
it.
and so
I'm
much
aware
of a
that.
ghost is finishing.
Yeah.
I want this to be very soft, but I also want this to have some edge to it.
Chad Smith says, I think when you two get these done, you have to wear your respective masks and take pics together. That would be, as my daughters say, cute.
Hooray.
Warmonger says, very cool. Jake Quinine says, thank you very much. It's just real rough shaping, just basic body parts for a winged-horned demon knight kind of thing.
Yep.
JLR says, keep up the great, awesome work, Shannon. Jack269 says, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Melissa Young says, woohoo, finally made it to a live one. Yay.
Hello, Melissa Young.
Ezekiel says, I love how your masks always have a possible multiple uses. Can see an awesome Christmas elf.
Yes, that's the hope for this. With these big ears. Now, what I'm doing now is I'm bringing down actually the top of my head. I'm bringing it down a little bit so that I have room to put a hat right here, because in some of my sculptures that I use for elves, these ears get in the way. So now I'm able to work on these ears. That's the Jonesy.
Captain Margaret says, awesome inspiration for your ghost, Shannon. Love the way it's going. Chad Smith says, I was thinking the same thing about the Ghostbusters librarian. Jack269 says, that is so freaking cool. Salfa says, what's the best technique to take out the wet clay that stays stuck deep in the ultracal mold? For instance, at the tip of your nose of your sculpt. Thank you.
A power washer. You would use a power washer to get that out.
Jones. Ed Kianis says, you guys are awesome!
Ed Gannon.
No, Ed Kianis.
Ed Kianis. Why, thank you.
Edwin Badillo says, when you're ready to paint and decorate, are you going to give him a hood like the Green Goblin or a patchwork-looking leather hood?
No, the first ones I make, he'll have a beard and a hat, and he'll be a Christmas elf.
Fred Shea says, when doing the mask from Shannon's sculpt, would you put the part that is over the mouth of hers on after the complete mask is made?
What? Read it again slower.
When doing the mask for Shannon's sculpt,
Yes.
would you put the part that is over the mouth of hers on after the complete mask is made?
No, it's all one piece. And I have yet to know exactly how I'm going to finish it. So
Here, Jones.
we'll figure that out.
Jack269 says, my favorite scary movie is Friday the 13th.
Okay.
Lots of greeting, Jonesy. Meow.
And he says, hey.
Horror Beauty says, Goblin reminds me of Blix.
As it should, because that's the best.
Puppet Master says, the ears and eye ridges add a very Ferengi look to it.
Yeah, Ferengi have eye ridges. Have ear ridges, I should say.
Bald Eagle 1908 says, looks more like a Romulan from Star Trek.
You're wrong.
Chloe Alba says, the way you guys sculpt is like ASMR for my eyes. You guys are awesome sauce.
All right.
Blackcraft27 says, before we all call it a night, I want to wish y'all a happy Halloween.
Thank
Happy
you,
Halloween.
and happy Halloween.
Fred Shea says, Alan's is starting to look like Quark from Deep Space Nine with the ears coming over the face. You guys are sculpting way too fast. Horror Beauty says, Jones is stressed, Mom's not in her normal spot.
Yeah. I have about 15 minutes. I'm hitting the wire again.
Lisa Arndt says, I'm seeing Creature from Harry Potter. Celeste Kitty says, he's looking like the weirdos from Star Trek, not the tall butthead dudes, the short butthead dudes. Yeah, I think that's a solid Ferengi description. The
Butthead
short
dudes.
butthead dudes. Tina Kusiak gets the world famous Jonesy.
It is Jones. Well,
Rachel
Jones.
Powell says, one more repeat question because I know you've said before. How long does it take liquid nails to cure?
It depends on how thick it is. Thin liquid nails will cure, it'll skin in about 20 minutes or so.
Jones,
Thick
buddy.
liquid nails will take a while.
Whoa, we're gonna snuggle. Hi, friend. Yeah, I know.
Well, hey, you got free hands.
Yeah. David Quintana says, I'm late, dang it.
You are late.
Steve Zalman says, I know, Jonesy, it's weird, but very neat to see Mom sculpting too, but she'll give you petting soon. I know, it's not Mom, but... Joe Boss says, Tarman from Return of the Living Dead.
Yeah, that's a good character. You know what? I think Nightbreed is probably one of my favorite horror movies. It's way up there.
Jay Quaning says, did you see the movie Creep yet? It's not monsters, but a cool, different take on the horror movie. I'm 51, so I like movies that don't suck, so just trust me.
Is there a monster in it, or is it people who are jerks? Because I can see that on CNN. I try not to watch those.
Ezekiel says, as soon as Jonesy starts meowing, her sister from another mister comes running. Film 1982 says, Burt Gummer died. Any thoughts on that?
I don't know who Burt Gummer is. I'm sorry, I'm sure he's very important. I bet his family misses him greatly, but I don't know who that is.
Jonesy, really?
Tank says, ooh, CNN burn.
Welcome to my world.
Rachel Powell says, at its thickest, it's about 1/4 of an inch. With a standard room temp around 72 to 74 degrees, low humidity, do you think it can be sandable by tomorrow afternoon?
Most likely, yes.
Stan, you gotta pay your pet tributes. Jones is over there. He was over there. Hey, buddy.
Jones. Something's wrong with him because he doesn't like.
Oh, Burt Gummer from Tremors. I don't know who he was in Tremors, but
Wasn't that the dad from Family Ties?
I guess I know
It
that.
doesn't sound.
And then did the character die or did the actor die? Like, this inside scoop on Tremors 15 or something?
Edwin Q asks, can you reuse the clay?
You can reuse the clay, absolutely.
Rachel Powell says, sweet, thanks.
No, a problem.
Burt Gummer was the fictional character played by actor Michael Gross.
Yes.
Michael Gross.
Did Michael Gross die or did... Because he was the dad in Family
He
Ties.
says, yes, that was the dad from Final Family Ties. Michael Gross is still alive.
So they just asked how I feel about a fictional character who died?
Tank says, yes, that was the
Should be
dad from
fine.
Family Ties.
I'm-
Chad Smith says, did my first work with Flex Foam this past weekend. Went way better than I thought. Very happy with the end result.
Awesome, that's good. I like it when I'm happy with end results.
Jake Swanning asks, if you throw a heat gun on liquid nails, it will dry faster before you attach your pieces, but don't let it skin.
The first thing it wants to do, by the way, is skin.
Skin.
So be careful with that.
Jack269 asks, what are you doing with the paintbrush now?
Just stippling. I'm stippling it to give it some skin texture, and so I can see, I'm looking. when it's shiny and it's shiny clay, it has a certain look to it. And then I stipple it and it becomes matte. And then I'm able to see things that I missed in other ways.
Babadaza asked, have you carved any of the pumpkin project pumpkins with the power washer yet?
Yes, I did 5 or 6 of them with a power washer.
And Argo Davies says, Jones singing the song of his people.
That's what he does.
Mr. Mitch says the character died in Tremors. Like the TV series, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, like, which Tremors? Because, like, I just saw part 6 a while ago. You know?
Warmonger says Jonesy got the dogs riled up.
He did. He came in and started laying out the news.
Edwin Q says, can you send a shout out to my daughter Olivia Q? She loves you guys.
Olivia Q, this is your shout out. This is your goblin shout out. Because right now you're looking at a goblin face. Ooh, Olivia
Or
Q.
Beauty says, from a side view of the goblin, it also kind of reminds me of Billy Crystal in Never Ending Story. Love it. Can we get another look at Shannon's sculpt?
In Never Ending Story.
Billy Crystal is never.
He's not in Never Ending Story.
You think
Billy
she's
Crystal plays Miracle Max
Princess
in The
Bride.
Princess
Princess Bride.
I think you're thinking Princess Bride.
Chad Smith says, is his left eye smaller than his right eye, or is it just the angle of the camera?
I don't know.
And did we get another look at Shannon's sculpt?
I will move the camera there momentarily.
Okay. Celeste Kitty says, new 2020 Tremors on Netflix. Haven't watched it yet. Spoilers.
Yeah, hooray. Now
Yeah.
you just ruined it.
Thanks, guys.
Bunch of jerks.
Cat Swift said, Chad, I was thinking the same thing in terms of his left eye is smaller than his right eye.
And his camera now.
Jack269 says, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Mr. Mitch says, Tremors, Shrieker Island, 2020.
Is that a thing?
But she says it was Princess Bride, my bad.
That's also one of my favorite movies.
Mr. Mitch said, oops. Did you say oops about spoilering stuff?
Yes.
We try and avoid that. Chad Smith says, Shannon, I think it's going to be super creepy. Love the direction it's going.
Thanks, Chad.
I actually can't wait to, like, some masks, you know, you just want the finish. And by finish, I mean the paint and all that stuff. That's the case with that one.
Just want to finish.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, I'm looking forward to the prospect of painting it and, you know, add some fabric, make it a whole mask as opposed to just the sculpture part.
Horror Beauty says it's a great movie. Joanne Crowley says, haven't liked Tremors with the CG. Film 1982 says, Tremors, Shrieker Island, 2020. Bert dies.
Thanks, jerk.
Spoiling all the stuff for us.
The boat sinks. He was a ghost the whole time.
Horror Beauty says, very cool, Shannon. Looking forward to seeing it all done and painted, too.
Thanks, guys.
Ezekiel says, thinking of adding Shutter to my TV options. Is it good?
I have Shudder, and I don't mind it at all. I watch a lot of movies on it.
Sorry, Jones.
Jones.
Jonesy.
Steve Zalman says, almost an Oriental Shogun Kabuki vibe from your sculpt, Shannon. Very nice. Bruce Moose says, hello from North Minnesota.
Hello, North Minnesota.
And Argo Davies says, my hubs looks exactly like Sean Wallace. Inconceivable.
Very nice. That's
Horror Beauty
awesome.
says, thanks for getting the shot, Stan. Rachel Powell says, sweet, I feel accomplished. 2 masks well underway. Tomorrow I rewatch some horn videos and make my Maleficent horns.
Hooray!
Jake Quanine says, Creep has no monsters, but the character who is the Creep is great. No CNN, but while you're working around your shop, just throw it on. It's really clever. It's more into the psychology of the killer.
Okay.
Fred Shea says, not that you guys have a lot of time these days, what new horror films or scary films are you looking forward to
We'll
critiquing?
start washing a little bit more now.
With a dry brush?
Big dry brush, in order to just make it look a little more finished. For the record, I love what you're doing with the nose.
That's not what my sweater.
No. I wasn't listening because I'm a terrible person.
That's alright. What new horror films or scary films are you looking forward to critiquing? Acknowledging that you don't have a lot of time.
I don't really critique. I just enjoy But I can't wait for Godzilla versus King Kong.
What?
Gotta watch a big monkey beat up on a lizard.
Jack269 says, my favorite Halloween movie is Friday the 13th. Six String Slaying Guitar Man says, when you make the mold, how do you prevent damaging your sculpt and detail? Do you let it dry out some?
Yeah, it does dry out some. Yes, it's very mushy right now. You could probably tell. So,
Is it
yes.
leather hard? Is that how it's supposed to be?
Yeah, you let it dry a little bit to get leather hard. Normally I don't, but it's something you can do.
Ezekiel says, I watched Candy Corn last night. I liked it.
There's a movie called Candy Corn. I'll have to check that out.
Tank says, isn't Shudder most horror, or am I thinking something else?
Shudder is horror movies. Yes.
Bald Eagle 1908 says, will you make me a bicycle clown? Context.
$5,000.
For a nominal fee.
Yes. I love making clown masks because I charge 3 times more than what I should for them. So I would deeply consider it.
David Quintana says, are those teeth homemade or store-bought?
These are store-bought teeth.
Yeah.
If you don't have time for homemade, then store-bought is fine. This is pumpkin teeth. You get them from Etsy, from a guy named Bob Connor. It's pumpkin teeth on Etsy, all one word, and they just stab in, and they're perfectly tapered so that they will pull out of a mold, no problem. As long as all of this is in the clay, then you're perfectly fine.
And they come in all sorts of different sizes.
They come in bigger sizes.
Mike Trznowski says, liquid nail in the tube?
Yes, liquid nail in the tubes.
Edwin Q says, Olivia says she loves the masks.
Thanks, Olivia.
Like Thor says, clown taxes. Jake Swanine says, I always name my PCs Ash, referring to Jones the cat.
Got it.
Celeste Kitty says, I heard a different word that rhymes with corn, and I had to double check to see if she really read that out loud.
Well,
Listen, I learned my lesson.
we don't have a lot of time for proofreading.
Warmonger says, will Shannon also be doing the boring molding stuff?
What's that?
Yeah.
She says yes. Now, Shannon has helped me before in the shop with hair and things, but this is her first time sculpting.
JLR says, Godzilla rules.
I do think he's going to get beat up by King Kong, but I also love Godzilla.
Mariah Patton says, second time catching it live, everything looks great. You got me to join Creepers. Looking forward to more.
Mariah.
Hooray!
Hi, Mariah.
Now, you
I
joined,
said her name right this
you
time.
joined Creepers because I want to see what you guys are making.
Mariah is Captain Morgan's daughter.
Yes.
Hooray!
Jack269 says, I like those teeth. Ezekiel says, clown tax.
Clown tax.
Ezekiel says, dog UFC. Sorry, I'm distracted.
Yes, there is a dog UFC happening over there.
Tina Kusiak says, I'm so excited for Godzilla vs. King Kong. Just that they are making new Godzilla warms my heart.
Oh, me too, me too.
Chad Smith says, a guy on Facebook was looking for ready-to-ship masks. I shared a few of mine and he messaged asking me if I had a clown. I said no. Too many people make them and I don't plan to compete with them. Rachel Powell says, clown tax treasurer says we are now at a deficit.
Well, see, if they ask me questions like about if they're new and they ask me to make them a clown mask, or if I make clown masks, that's okay. I just tell them I don't. You know, it's no big deal. But if after I say that, then they kind of push a little bit, then then it's clown tax time, guys.
Bald Eagle says, it was meant as sarcasm. It's a quote from Wedding Crashers scene when Vince Vaughn was making balloon animals. Just being random.
I didn't see Wedding Crashers because I only watch movies with sword fighting and monsters in them. Or sword fighting or monsters. You know, it has to have one or the other.
Thank you, Scott Colehart, with Pumpkin Teeth link.
Movies that have both are the best movies. Like Clash of the Titans, Willow. What a good movie Willow is. So underrated.
Jake Quanine says, the liquid nails thing was a helpful hint. I use it constantly. I usually put the whole thing in a bucket of hot water. It helps it dry faster and flow easier. Our windshield guy showed me that.
Sweet.
Jack269 says, I didn't know they were making Godzilla vs. King Kong. Warmonger says, Hollyweird officially ran out of monsters.
They should also look at the Yule Lads. Those would be great movie monsters.
Barbie says, man, Willow was great.
All right, gang. It is now 10 o'clock. I'm putting the last detail here on this lip. I'm going to blend that in a little bit. Now, these sculptures are not done, but the goal is for us to get the gist of them across. And I feel like both of us have done that. Let me give you guys a peeky peek. I'll flip you around here.
E&J Outdoor Adventures asks, why do airbrush leak paint by the trigger of blowing bubbles in the paint cup too? Hello, by the way.
That means you might have a cracked cone if it's blowing bubbles already because your air is going the wrong way and coming around back. So this is the goblin that I have sculpted this evening. I'm probably halfway done on this. The rest is going to be detailing and refining. I kept it pretty tight, which is what I wanted to do. I didn't build it out huge, so that's good. And now, let's move around and see what the wife has done.
Ezekiel says, one day someone will throw up a super chat to make a clown. Won't be me though.
The wife is super focused, has not stopped with her tools.
Says the nose you sculpted on this piece is perfect.
Baby, I'm actually really liking that.
Thanks, Dad.
Wow.
And EQ asked, will these get poured in latex?
Yes, they'll be molded in plaster and then poured up in latex. You know what? I immediately also want to do a scarecrow with it.
Yes, I can see that. Jake Pawning asks, is there a decent clay or anything else out there that air dries that you can sculpt with?
Not really, unless you're looking for a stone. There's a product called Paltia, because you have to be careful of some things will crack as they dry because they shrink or they expand, and that's bad for sculpture, obviously.
Ryan David says, you'll have a great rest of your night. Jack 269 says, I just subscribed to your channel.
So you guys, thank you for joining us. Stan, why don't you say goodnight?
Good night, everybody. Happy Halloween.
And Stacy, why don't you say goodnight?
Good night, everybody. Happy Halloween.
Wife, would you and Jonesy say goodnight? Jones, is he eating your sculpture?
He's trying.
Good night. Happy Halloween for me and Jones.
I say goodnight. I'm going to say happy Halloween, even though I'll probably see you before then, because,
Is that
yeah,
what you do?
I'll figure. I got tours to do at dark hour on Thursday and Friday night. Saturday, I don't know what's going to happen. That's Halloween. I'm going to reserve the right to, I don't know. I'm going to, yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But maybe I'll go live during the daytime some, and I have at least 1 or 2 more videos to put out this week before Halloween. You guys are awesome. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Go make stuff.